Hello and welcome to the Horror Outcast podcast. Hope you all enjoy, and tell me, what is your favorite scary movie?
Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Horror Outcast podcast. Yes, I'm kind of with this for a while. Talking, to Hellmaster Helvington and Bishop Brady, kind of decided to come up with this, podcast. So we call the Horror Outcast podcast, because we're all horror fans, and sometimes people look at us differently, because we love horror and everything else. Especially me, I'm a big horror fan, big Michael Myers fan, Halloween fan, and people see my collection, so that see me do stuff like, you're crazy, I can't do that, So always call me crazy, everything else, but I thought this would be a perfect name, it's Horror Outcast podcast. So let's get this rolling, and starting with my guests coming on, and I am an executive hellhound, and we also have another executive hell, or basically Hellcat, on as well, basically Brittany.
Mic's off. Okay. Hey.
And we got the Hellmaster himself, coming from the Hell Zone. Y'all know and love him, the one and only Helvington.
What's up? How the hell are you guys? Look at my two hellhounds right here. Oh my god, my hellhound here. Or it's y'all. We're all together. What's going on, guys? How the hell are you?
Not too bad.
Good.
Ready to get this party started?
And I'm sorry I'm running late. I'm oh my god. I've been everywhere today, guys. I've just been everywhere today. Work's been crazy. My IRL job, my real life job's been crazy. So got home late tonight. Fell asleep halfway. But anyways, let's get this started. Obviously, that's how you know I haven't done a live in a minute. I'm not used to this, but I'm glad. All
right. Well, first, we do have somebody in the chat. We have. So what's going on here? Okay, How's it going? All right. Miss Chelsea Mars says, "Hey, everybody, how's it going, Chelsea?"
How are you?
We got Miss Shape says, "Hey, hey."
Hey.
Bro, you guys ready to talk some Scream? Man, I've been thinking about it all
Always.
day.
So, yeah, I actually just got done. I was kind of bored, so I'm gonna watch the first Scream.
Ooh,
See where I'm gonna rank that ass.
That's better be number one. But if it's not, it's okay. We disagree on a couple of things, but it better be number one. But
It better be number one. We got to fight.
I might have to take your VIP card away. I don't know.
All right, so starting off with our ranking, I'll let the so we're gonna go to each one. We'll all give our different opinions or different rankings. So I'll go for we'll have Helveton go first, then you, Brittany, and then me, and then so starting at number 6, Helvington. Where do you put Scream? One of the Scream movies at?
Okay, at number 6. Okay, unfortunately, and again, your Hellmaster's coming up. Look, you guys don't believe me. I do everything off the fly, so I'm doing this right here, right now. I've been thinking about. I honestly thought we were just talking about Scream. I didn't know we were doing the ranking. So right now, I'm doing a live reaction ranking, fresh off the top of the dome. So for number 6, that's why I just did. You see how I did that? You see how I did like a long speech so I could think about what number 6 is going to be? All right, and I'm still continuing that speech. So number 6, ladies and gentlemen, Hellcats and Hellhounds, and the kids in the shadows. I don't know. I'm still working on that shape. I'm working on something for you people.
Hey, we're all still
number 6 is going to be Scream 5, ladies and gentlemen. Scream 5 is my number 6. Yes. And for the reason being number 6 on my list, again, all these movies are great in their own right, but with Scream 5, I just believe that it was a film that we all asked for, right? We all needed another film. We all wanted another film. We didn't know we wanted another film because after Wes Craven passed, we were like, okay, that's it. But when they said that they're bringing everyone back, that I was ready, right? And then the product that they delivered in Scream 5, it was just underwhelming, right? There was a lot of scenes in it that I didn't agree with. I think we all can agree that Officer Dewey, right? His death was not handled well in Scream 5, right? And then we can also agree that one of the most interesting characters in Scream 5, Wes, right? He was one of the first characters to be killed. So there's a lot of things in Scream 5 that I feel like Wes Craven wouldn't have done if he was alive. So that's why it is number 6 on my list.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on, Jake.
Okay.
I'm not liking that face up there, brother. What's going on? What's going on? Talk to me, brother. Talk to me.
I can see you putting Scream 5 at 6. I do kind of see that. Well,
I mean, like I remember we talked about it a little bit this week, and you asked me about Scream 4, Scream 5, and Scream 6, and I mean, again, Scream 5 is not a bad film. I mean, again, I just think there's a lot of things in Scream 5 that we didn't get a lot of chase scenes in Scream 5, right? That's another thing that's a main staple in the Scream franchise, right? And that's like having Michael Myers with no stalking scenes. You just can't do that, right? So that's why Halloween. We're not here to talk about Halloween in Telvington. We're not here to talk about it.
We're not gonna bring it up. We're not gonna bring it up.
I promise. That was my last time. That was my last and only time.
All right. So Helton puts Scream 5 at number 6. So, Brittany, what's your number?
Okay. Okay. My number 6. Okay. Don't judge me. I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of judgment on this, but number 6 for me is gonna be Scream 4.
Oof.
I know. See, but this is my reasoning. Although the kills were very gory, they were kind of just our basic kills. The best thing about Scream 4 was in the climax of the ending. Like if we were basing it on ending, Scream 4 is like literally top 3 for me.
Okay.
But the whole movie together, I kind of feel the same way you felt about 5. It just I was happy and I was excited because we hadn't had a Scream movie in how many years since 3?
It was
like
about
10,
10,
11?
12 years, yeah.
Yeah. So I was happy and excited, but then seeing Scream 4, we didn't get, the good chase scenes. The opening was horrible. Not the opening, but like the fake out openings. Those
Right.
were horrible. Like
Okay.
we could have did without those.
Yeah.
And again, the kills were just the basic stabbings, no good chase scenes. The characters besides Kirby, well,
Oh, hold on a second. Okay,
besides Kirby, the other characters were blah. Well, except for Jill at the end.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting on my turn to. I look. She's my Hellcat. I'm a child of
But
night.
I didn't really like a lot of the characters in Scream 4. I like Kirby, Jill at the end. We could have did without the boyfriend. We could have did without Charlie. Charlie's friend, he was kind of funny. He was like our little comic relief. And then the mom was just thrown in there. And then, of course, we love Gil and Dewey, even though we were back again with them at odds at a rocky space in their marriage when I thought we had it figured out at the end of 3. But obviously not. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe that's why they got divorced. But that's why Scream 4, unpopular opinion, that's my number 6.
Okay. Now I need to respond. Now, Shape, I actually put a picture up of Scream 4 right there. If you could bring it up on the screen, because she talked about the cast. So yeah, here we go. Now she was talking about Scream 4, and I will say that the opening kill was one of the worst that we've had. The opening sequence. It's one of the worst we've had in the franchise, right? But what I do have to disagree with Executive Hellcat, basically Brittany, is that the characters I feel like were stronger in Scream 4 rather than Scream 5. Now, given that I really did find the side characters in Scream 5 more interesting, but they gave the writers, gave them no substance in Scream 5, right? Wes was a great character, they threw him away, right? Could you imagine if Wes had half the character development as a Charlie or Charlie's friend, right? So I did think the characters in Scream 4 were better written out. Now, were there the actors and actresses who played them better? I don't think so. Like you said, Jill and Kirby were the standout performances. But again, in Scream 5, what was the killer's name in Scream 5? You had I'm
Richie and Amber.
Amber, her girlfriend, or not? Was it her girlfriend? The one she shot in the head?
Liv.
Liv
was the girlfriend
Liv.
of Chad.
That was Chad's girlfriend.
Liv she was really funny, and I feel like she was just like she was the red herring the whole time until she got shot in the head.
But imagine though, right? And this again, this goes to the writing of Scream 5. Imagine if she had the character of a Tatum, because that was the vibe she gave, right? Was a Tatum, right? So, or if she had half the development of Olivia in Scream 4, right? So again, I think the characters in Scream 5 were not, they just didn't handle them properly. And then we'll go to the ending. Like you said, the ending was the best part of the film. But
yes.
I will say this though. You said that the kills in Scream 4 were lackluster. But that's what I like in my Scream movies, right? It wasn't to this new gen, right? Scream 5, Scream 6, that the kills started getting ultra violent. If you remember, Scream 96, Scream 2, Scream 3, and Scream 4, well, Scream 4 had a little more brutality with Olivia's kill, obviously, but it was the simplicity of the kills. That's what I love about Ghostface. That's what Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson and the legendary John Carpenter love about their horror films. Less blood is better. So, in my opinion, yes, the kills were more lackluster in Scream 4, but that was more true to what the original style of Scream is.
I can agree on that. I see your reasoning on that.
No,
because I just I love Scream 4. Like I enjoyed watching it when it came out, but it's just I feel like mainly maybe it was just the characters who played them.
It was
besides Hayden Panettiere and what's her name? Emma Roberts.
Emma Roberts. Yeah.
Is it Emma Roberts? Yeah,
Yeah.
because Emma Roberts is fantastic in anything
yes.
she's in. But yeah,
So
if
maybe
we were
that's
doing
what
it
it
based
was.
on the end, yeah, maybe that's what it was. Maybe it
that's
wasn't
what it was. That there was too much
the
star power.
characters.
You had Emma Roberts, you had Hayden Panettiere, you had Nev Campbell, you had Courtney Cox, you had all that. So it's like maybe the side characters had to be dumbed down a little bit, you know. Look, we're already at each other's throats, right? I love it.
All right, Shape, it is your turn.
All right, but before we do that, we got a couple people in the chat. You got Daisy in the chat saying, "Hey everyone, how's it going, Daisy?
How the hell are you?"
Hey.
We also got Child the Corn says, "Yo, what's good, everyone? In all honesty, Scream 4 is growing on me more and more, and seems more authentic to the original film."
Yeah. Simplicity. It was the simplicity of it, you know, and I think Scream 5 had a little bit of the simplicity, right? But again, it was the way they handled their characters in that film. That Scream 5 just felt really rushed to me. It just felt really rushed.
All right, so here's to Huffington Scream 5, Brittany Scream 4. So my number 6 is going to be Scream.
What the?
What?
Hey, I gotta go, y'all.
I'm closing out.
I gotta go. I can't be seen on here.
Well, for me, number 6, I'm gonna have to agree. I'll agree with basically Brittany Scream 4.
Okay, Scream 4. Okay, I thought you were serious for a second. Jesus Christ!
I know. My heart literally stopped for a second. Literally. I was like, wait a minute. Where's the laugh?
Literally. So you're gonna go Scream 4. Can I have your reasoning behind Scream 4?
When it comes to Scream 4, just like even like some of the characters to me, like Kirby was kind of annoying. That the freaking dude with the long hair, like the one was kind of like loving Kirby a little bit, but she won't give. He has been the killer.
Charlie.
Charlie. He was just too much, in my opinion. It's just it's when it comes to me for movies, it's like when the characters kind of be like they're a little bit too much. I mean, one character too much, I can deal with that. When you got a couple characters that is a little bit way too much for me, it's like, okay, well, now we're kind of getting nowhere. I'm like, I'm not. It's like me. It's like I want all the characters to die at this point.
Yeah.
Especially, like I said, then you got what was Gail's niece? Oh, not Gail, but Sydney's niece's name again?
Jill.
Yeah, when it came to Jill. Yeah, when it came to like her motives on why she's killing, it's like is really that's like one of the that's like a best motive you have, really.
I mean, okay, so I understand the motive. A lot of people talk about the motive, like she's a spoiled kid trying to get back at her aunt or whatever. But in their defense, right, there was a story saying that she was supposed to be just like a deranged fan. Right, a fan gone wild kind of situation, a fangirl of Sidney Prescott, and that was going to be the original. But then they changed the script at the last second to make her Sidney's niece. Right, I would much rather have the fangirl thing.
Yeah,
right? Have Jill be just a random fangirl that's obsessed with Sidney Prescott, and that would have been more believable than the niece thing. I see what you're saying there.
Yeah. I mean, some of the kills are good, but at the same time, it was kind of like, and then of course, he loves her, and then she's turn around and killing him. It's like, wow, all right.
It was 96, but done wrong, Yeah. I respect it, guys. I'm not mad at you guys, okay? Okay, I'm not mad at you guys. As long as y'all don't put Scream like 2 at like number 1 or top. I already know Brittany is because.
First of all, listen. My list has changed drastically.
Okay. Well, we'll see by the end of this year. All right. So far, we got me with Scream 5 at number 5, Brittany with Scream 4, and Shape with Scream 4 at number 5. Okay, you guys are. Okay. I'm 0-1. 0-2. Okay, let's go. All right. Can I go with my number 4?
Hang on. Daisy said, yeah, Scream 4 is my least favorite as well. Emma Roberts being the killer really bothered me. And then Charlie Corn also did say, fame will make people do crazy shit.
That is
It
true.
will.
That is true. Look at everything that happened in Hollywood. Everything that goes on.
I
All right, number
can
five.
name a
Number
few.
five.
All right, so this is my number 4. Oh, 5. Shit, I don't even know how many Scream movies there are. All right, so I'm like I said, off the top of my dome, guys. This is like freestyle rapping at its finest. All right, my number 5 is going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a hard one. Okay, Hellcats and Hellhounds, people in the shadows, everybody watching out there, all the basically Britneys out there, in the world. I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing this to think about what I want to say. I'm doing this because I really want to reach you guys. So with my number 5, without further ado, no more debating, no more talking about it. Let's be about it. My number 5 will have to be, without a shadow of a doubt, it's gonna have to be Scream 2, man. Scream 2.
Of course.
Scream 2. Now let's talk about Scream 2, guys. So Scream 2, it's a good film. Okay, it's a really good film, and I loved what they did with the film for the time. And I love, I know the controversy of everything that it was supposed to be and what it not end up being, or maybe I'm getting that confused with Scream 3. I don't know, but I understand. I respect it. But the problem that I had with Scream 2 was honestly the pacing of it. The pacing of it was just not my cup of tea. Okay, this isn't a Halloween movie. Okay, this is Scream. This is the problem I had with H2O, right? Halloween H2O. These two films came out in the same time period, right? And they are so alike, similar with pacing, right? One is supposed to be fast, and it's not. Scream, and one is supposed to be slow, and it's really too slow with Halloween H2O, right? So with Scream 2, it just felt like it was way too slow for a Scream movie. We had to go through the university, right, with Neve Campbell and her sorority sisters, and then we had to deal with the relationship with her and her boyfriend and stuff. And it's like, my Scream films, I don't need all of that. I just need a good, somewhat good long story, right? Not terribly long, but. And then another thing, right? It was really cool. It was too cheesy at times, like, right? Like with her boyfriend, I believe his name was Derek, getting up on the table and dancing, and it was really too cheesy. And then the I did appreciate the Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare thing, nod they did in it. But again, seeing Ghostface in like a cloak and robe in the middle of a freaking musical theater just wasn't it for me, Chief. Like, I'm all good with some cornballs and some cheesiness every now and then, right? I like my Chester cheese, my hot Cheetos, right? I like it. But Scream 2 was a little bit too cheesy for me. And for that to be a sequel to the 96, I didn't like it. Now, and we'll get to Scream 3. I feel like Scream 3 would have been a better sequel to Scream 2. And then I didn't like look, everybody says the opening kill. Okay, let's be honest. I was going to save it. I was going to not pull this out my bag, but now I got to pull it out my bag, okay? The opening kill sequence to Scream 2 is mid. It's so mid. Like, let's talk about it, okay? Again, the cheesiness, the corniness, when Jada Pickett's getting stabbed and she's like, oh, I love Jada Pickett Smith. Don't get me wrong, love her, but just her getting stabbed and going down the aisle and then having that theatrical scream at, like, realistically, you wouldn't have made it to the stage, right? You would have made it in front of the stage. So that was really cheesy to me. And then Omar Epps putting his ear up to the bathroom stall.
Yeah.
From the shadows.
Yeah.
Have you ever, as a man, Brittany, as a woman, have you ever put your ear up to a stall? No.
I barely want to go into a stall.
Exactly.
Put my body part anywhere else.
Exactly. So for that reason, it has to be my number 5. But I did just shit all over that film. But I did enjoy. Now, don't get me wrong. I did enjoy the performance out of every fucking body in that film. Randy, Mickey, Mickey's mom, everybody. They outstanding. And the ending dialogue between Mickey's mom and not Big Mickey's mom, Jesus Christ, Billy's mom. Shit, I'm so confused right now. Billy's mother and Mrs. Loomis and Sydney. I love that. I love that little dialogue between her and they had for each other. I mean, it's on top. Like her and Roman have the best like back and forth with Sydney. Like those two have the best back and forth. But yeah, that's my screen too.
Well, Charlie Corn does have a question for you. He says, question for Helvington. Would you choose I Know We Did Last Summer and Urban Legends over Scream 2? All came out in the 2-year span.
That is, look, again, if you guys don't know Charlie Corn, he is the $1 million man with the $1 million questions. And he is also, God damn, there's a lot of executive hellcats and hellhounds in there. Jesus Christ. All right, he is an executive hellhound, so I got to answer that question. Oh, for sure, any day of the week. I mean, I Know What You Did Last Summer and Urban Legend, in my opinion, are way superior. Like I'm talking way superior than Scream 2. The pacing is what it's supposed to be in the films, and the kill. And I'm not going to get on the kills because Scream 2 did have some interesting kills. But again, for me, the story and the pacing for I Know What You Did Last Summer and Urban Legend is far superior than Scream 2 in any way. But I will say the acting in Scream 2 and the actors and actresses in Scream 2, that's a hard one. Let me ask Britt real quick. Brittany.
What is the question again?
I got this question for you.
Okay.
Which one was a better film? And Child of Corn also wants to know. I Know What You Did Last Summer and Urban Legend. I just want to know, which one do you prefer? I Know What You Did Last Summer or Scream 2? Which one do you prefer?
Oh, between I Know What You Did and Scream 2? Ooh.
Yeah, I want to know. That's a hard
one. That's not for me. That's hard. That's hard. And then why you gotta choose the two that got Buffy in it also? Like, dang, like I can't even, because Buffy in both of them.
Better in.
Well, before or after the hack job. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Because the hack job, like, hey, it was all uneven. I can't even fault her for being mad because I would have also been upset. I mean,
at least it's not Gail Weathers bad, am I right?
Oh, listen, if we were judging on bangs, Scream 3 would have been number 6. Okay, that would have been last.
I mean, they're not as bad as Sydney. I didn't enjoy Sydney's bangs in Scream 4. I didn't like them.
Oh no, I didn't like her. I didn't like the cut she had in 5. I didn't like the hair in 5. And then I don't know what it is. I love Courtney Cox, but that them injections they showing now that you.
But I heard after the film she's taking them out because of the backlash from the film. I heard that she is going to take the fillers out.
Yeah, it was just them lips. It was a lot of.
I wish Hollywood would understand, right? Because this is the thing that women in Hollywood talk about. They're like, well, the older you get, you got to keep it nipped and tucked, right? So you can get the jobs, right? Well, not necessarily. If you look at like a Jennifer Love Hewitt or a Sarah Michelle Gellar, or hell, look at a Neve Campbell, right? They're getting older, and of course, I'm sure that they have a lot of makeup done, but they don't have all those fillers that all these other actors and actresses have, right? So I wish Courtney Cox would learn that.
Yeah, but okay, 2. I'm gonna stop stalling with the question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Okay.
Over Scream 2.
I like that.
I enjoy it more than Scream 2. Scream 2 does have a lot of problems. One, Mickey's missing for like 30 minutes of the movie. And it's like, obviously he's the killer because he's not fake dead. They didn't, kill him off.
Right.
Mickey's just missing for 30 minutes of the movie.
Right. It's like, where's Mickey? I don't know. He hit a Roman everyone else but Mickey. He hit a Roman in Scream 3. Like, where's Roman?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, God.
That's funny.
All right. Go ahead, Basic Brittany. What's your number 5?
Oh, okay. So my number 5 is Scream 5. It's 2022. And it just did not again live up to what I was expecting. It was like, oh, Scream 5, we got another one. And then it's like, oh, okay. And then the killers, Amber and Richie,
Oh, yeah.
Although they took out Dewey, which I'm gonna catch them outside for that one still.
Yeah.
Um,
that one hurt. That one hurt.
it hurt me because me and Dewey been rocking since '96.
Yeah.
And there was a heartfelt death, but they underused a lot of good characters, like the Vince character. Oh my God, I love the character who played Vince in Scream 5, and for them just to have him in there for all they Chris Browned him. Do y'all remember when they promoted Chris Brown for that what was it, Stomp the Yard?
Yeah, Stomp the Yard.
They promoted it was him in every trailer, and then not even 5 minutes into the movie, he's dead. Sorry if I just spoiled that to anyone who's never seen that movie.
Good movie.
I didn't see the movie. Thanks a lot.
It's a wishy-washy, like, okay, if you see it, and you'll live if you don't. But they Chris Brown him because I remember going to specifically get tickets to see that movie, like, oh, we're gonna see Chris Brown whole movie. No. And I was like, okay, maybe they'll just have him in the hospital, and he'll just be going visit him. No, he did. I was like, okay. And that's how I felt about the character. What's his name? Kyle something. I can't get his last name right now, but I love him as an actor. And the same thing with 13 Reasons Why. The one who played Wes. I forget his real name, but he's a really good actor, and he died. And they kept giving us the fake outs with him opening everything in the kitchen. I was like, oh my God, if you open one more door and nothing happens. It was at one point where we started to laugh after he opened, like, I think it was after he opened the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Everybody started laughing because it was like the 5th time he opened something and nothing was there.
Yeah.
And also the pacing. It was really quick. It was like we found out everything, like, even though we were supposed to find out everything in pieces, it's just like it all just kind of stumbled out. And once she told Tara, it was like, okay, we got to hurry up and tell everyone else, get them all caught up. Then we got to figure out a way to bring Dewey into it, get him all. And it was just so rushed. And then it was like, we're finally at the end. And the climax was not climaxing like it was supposed to. I just wasn't feeling it with Amber and Richie. Like, oh, the boyfriend again. And the best friend, like, that was a shocker. It's never been the best friend, but yeah. So that was okay. The shocking part of that ending was when she shot Liv. Everything else, well, except when we got Sydney coming in there, her and Gail, I just thought that was lame. Gail gets shot and she's just bleeding out with the gun room, but she's still fighting and she's still going through everything. But yeah, I'm gonna stop complaining about it. But they killed off Dewey, and he was the best part. So even though they gave him a good 10 minutes.
So I got something. I agree 100% with everything that Brittany just said, and she added some good points that I even totally forgot about. Right. And so I did want to say something, that there is a trend going on right now in the new Scream franchise that they're building. Right. Brittany, do you remember who called it within the first 20 minutes in Scream 5 on who the killer was?
Ooh, I do not remember who called it.
It was Dewey. Dewey called it, remember?
Oh yeah. Dewey did call it.
Okay.
He did, because he was like, how long have you known him? He went through all the questions. And then when Dewey actually when I saw the posters, I called Richie being the killer. Right. I called it, and then I called it again in the movie when he was at the hospital, and he was like, "Did you just hit me in the head with the phone?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's a killer."
That's stuff, yeah. Now in Scream 6, who called it in Scream 6 within the first? I want to say it was in the first 20 minutes in Scream 6.
It was Mindy.
It was Mindy. Mindy called it again.
Yeah, Mindy called one. She called one. That was the same one I called.
Right.
Again, when the posters came out, I was like, there's without a shadow of a doubt.
So there's a trend going on in the franchise right now where they're literally letting you know who the killer is within the first 20 minutes. And I don't like that. I don't know about you guys, but my favorite thing about a Scream film is going through the film, trying to figure out who the killer is, and then double points if I'm wrong. If I'm right, then you should have did better at making me guess. But Do you guys feel like you can guess who the killer is? Like, I understand in 90s. Now, you got to take hindsight away, right? Imagine watching Scream 1996 for the first time. You probably wouldn't have guessed it first time. People probably would have guessed Randy. People would have probably guessed, like anybody, right? But it was Billy, and so again, there's a predictability that they're losing, right? What do you think, Shay?
I mean, when I first saw Scream 5, I said I didn't even know who the killer was. I mean, even look at, you kind of like suspected, but again, like with the whole trend of the movies like that, especially with Kim's like the stab movies, and everybody wants to be, a stab. Oh, he wants to recreate stab, do their own movie, right? And in a way, you kind of see the poster, like maybe he could be the killer, but at the same time, they did kind of try to throw you off because he's like, well, I never seen any of the stab films. I don't like those movies. Then you see him watching, he's like, so he's like playing that role where he's like, he never seen the stab movie. He don't know what's going on with these movies. You know what I mean? So that is like the way, that's like my opinion, that they still kind of try to throw you off from him to maybe somebody else.
Yeah.
So
I mean, kudos to them. I mean, I just feel like they could have did a little better, but maybe that's on Kevin Williamson. I mean, that's not on the directors. That's on the writer. Kevin Williamson. I mean, well, hold on. I'm wrong on that because I remember saying Kevin Williamson wrote Scream 5, and I was completely wrong about that. I remember somebody called me out on that. So, my bad, Kevin. My bad, bro.
I fault,
bro. I was trying to put some more money in your pockets, brother. Okay. But
yeah, no, when Dewey did point out Richie, like I kept thinking about all the weird things that he was saying, and it was weird that he was like, oh, he never seen them, but he was. Although it's smart to know what you get into,
yeah.
But I also feel like he was kind of giving himself away because when the part where Sam was calling him, he was at the hotel watching the YouTube videos of all the Scream stuff.
Yeah, the dead.
He was like fully, yeah. I freaked out in the theater a little too much when I saw it. I was like, oh my god, I watched it all the time. But
I steal their videos all the time.
No, I was just like he was like really in depth and in tune with it, and he was just like really going deep dive into it. It's like she's calling you with like what's going on for real in real life. And you're more interested in discussing and telling her what you're analyzing throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Or about the clip about the movie.
I can respect that. I respect that they tried to hide it. But again, if you're going to hide it. Don't tell us in the first 20 minutes. That's all I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
Wes didn't do it. He didn't do it in 96 or Scream 2 or Scream 3. So, I mean, it always made you guess, okay, it could be the boyfriend, but actually it's the boyfriend's mom. Like I meant, it's the stepbrother, right? I like that, right? It's the niece. Now that I feel like Scream 4 is where it started. Kevin Williamson started the trend where the killers kept getting weaker and weaker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so it's my turn, right?
Yep, you're number 5.
Number 5. It's going to have. I have to agree with Helverton on this one. Scream 2. I did not really care for Scream 2 that much, and with the aunt from Roseanne, being the killer.
Every day I come home, we're watching Roseanne. Like that is what we watch every day. Literally,
I love Roseanne. Roseanne's hilarious.
Fucking love Jackie.
But to me, it's like okay, well, you basically abandoned your son, and left, and never came back. And he's like, you just left, and especially they stated, in the first one that my mom left and never came back. She abandoned us. She abandoned me.
She was a dirtbag.
And you're gonna come back just because he dies. Oh, I need to get revenge on my son. Oh. It's like, well, where were you?
She's working for that life insurance money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but again, like, so I agree with Steve, like the whole, with the freaking, college stuff and everything else is like, oh man, come on. But I mean, like I said, it's just, but you can see, I'm have to go. I'm gonna talk about it. I gotta talk about Helverton. But you can see the similarities of, the college campus, stuff like that with H2O, being in the school.
Okay.
You do see
I
the
promise
scene.
not to talk about ends, but I'm never ever going to promise not to talk about Halloween H2O. I will always be down to throw hands about H2O. H2O. I kept it nice for my review on my channel because shout out. Okay, first of all, Shape was supposed to have the review for H2O on my channel. Things happened, and then he stuck it with me, so I had to do it. Right? No, that's not what happened. The audio and stuff on the review fucked up, and I had to put the review out. So I was like, "Fuck, Shake, can we record?" He's like, "I can't re-record right now." I was like, "Okay, fine. I have to H2O." So I had to keep it peaceful for my channel. So Halloween H2O on my channel, it's a good film. But over here, it's a piece of shit. H2O is piece of dog crap. Okay, the college setting is. I never thought I would see a worse college setting than Scream 2. Yet here we are with Halloween H2O. Halloween H2O is complete trash. I will never own any Halloween H2O. Check this out. They had a sale of the Halloween franchise, right? And Halloween H2O was in it, right? I didn't buy it because Halloween H2O was in it. I'd rather buy every single movie individually before I own Halloween H2O. Like that will never happen. Okay. On my casket, I will write, please do not watch Halloween H2O. Okay. I will write that on my casket. All right, I'm done. I think
Don't do Halloween
Oh, hey, on
H2O
your
like
casket,
that. It's
I'm
a
gonna
really
put-
good movie.
It is a good movie.
it's not a good movie.
It's
You know,
a
you know,
good
you know what I'm
movie.
gonna do? I want to put on your casket. We'll put on your casket out 10. It says, "I love Halloween H2O."
Be
Way
like,
better
okay,
than
now-
Halloween.
I'm gonna come speak at the I'm gonna come do the eulogy. And I'm just like, I've known Helverton for a really long time.
What the
And I
hell?
can just remember all the times of him saying how much he loved H2O.
Oh, this is a mutiny. This is a mutiny. All right. I gotta reevaluate some things over here in the Hell Zone because
And I'm like,
first we got a mutiny. We got Shaping the Shadows turned into a grave digger. Okay, he's gonna dig up my grave like a like a mad scientist just to I don't even know, graffiti it, right? Then you got Brittany over here giving a fake eulogy in front of my loved ones, making me look like a piece of shit.
I might even just show the movie. I'm like, his last
Wait,
wish
no,
was
we're
for us
not
to
watching.
all
All right,
watch
that's
the
why I draw the
movie.
line. That's why I draw the
Here,
line.
but Charlie Corner says H2O is great because of the Scream vibes. I'm going to go out and get the Josh Hartnett haircut later this week.
Don't do it. Get the Josh Arnett from the Faculty. Get that haircut. That
It's the
was
same haircut, ain't it?
because no, there's this little thing that he had, the little alfalfa he has in H2O. It's not in the Faculty. It's like they put some gel on it and laid it down. So no, it's better. Even though it's the same haircut, somehow it's better.
He loves that same haircut.
Okay, but it's still better in the Faculty. It's just because he's in the H2O that the haircut's worse. Okay,
Comb your hair.
That's what's going on. They put some, yeah.
No, not the hair.
No, it's not.
Not his hair.
Terrible movie.
We had LL Cool J. We had Ladies Love Cool J.
Okay, I love Cool J too, but doesn't matter. Look, I can love a lot of things, right? I love Josh Arnett, right? Love him. I love the guy in the beginning. The what's the guy's name in the beginning that goes and checks the house?
Oh, Jason Gordon-Levitt.
Love him, right? I feel like he should have been the son if anybody was the son, but no, let's not do that. Now, let's not put an award-winning actor let's not do that. Let's just not, right? Let's just not do that.
Hey, Josh was a good cast for that. He might not be
He was.
award-winning, but he got a couple movies underneath his belt.
Look, I love him as an actor, but whose career is better? Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not even gonna.
So they missed out on that. They could have had an A-list actor, but they settled for a C-list actor, if at best. So look, but hey, that's y'all's film. That is y'all's film that y'all died by. Okay. I'll take.
Come on, the ending though. The ending of H2O was amazing. Come on, like tell me your heart didn't sink when she cut his head off, and you didn't think for a second.
No.
Damn, she got it.
Okay.
You didn't for a second.
Completely honest. The H2O ending. Completely honesty. Okay. I didn't like it. I would have much rather had the resurrection beginning. Honestly, I'm being honest. Like if we're being honest, I would have much rather have the beginning of resurrection between Michael and Lori, right? I would have rather have that be the ending because that's a finale with that story, right? It's like you brought her back 20 years later This is it, ladies. Same thing with Halloween Ends, right? This is it. The final showdown, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. Again, you bring me to the theater, and then at the end, she chops this guy's head off. That's not even Michael. Are you serious? So that's just, again, it's just like in Halloween Ends when they're like, remember the trailer? It's the final showdown between Michael and Laurie. The showdown between all showdowns, and it's like maybe it's the same fight we've seen in the trailer.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the problem I have with those two films. You lied to it. This is not a finale to the story. Resurrection, that beginning was a finale to their story.
The Resurrection opening was a good opening.
That was good. That was good.
That was a good opening.
But
you wouldn't have that opening without the ending of H2O. There you go.
Right.
No, hold on. I'm not letting that slide. No, just because
she had to cut off a stranger's head in order to go to a mental institute.
She could do that. She could do all that at the end of the movie. They could have literally did all that at the end, but they could have literally did it all at the end of H2O. They could have literally did all of that at the end. That's another thing, right? They fucked up Resurrection. Like that's why I always get those two films mixed up, because I'm like, why is Laurie Strode in Resurrection? This has nothing to do with the story of Resurrection. But you know why they had to do that? Because they fucked up in H2O. Okay, that's how bad they fucked up. The next director had to come in and fix what they did, and then continue their story. And that film gets shitted on. I don't know why. Look, Shape's over here. He's like, yo, he got some good points, man.
You know what Child Corner says? So you're saying you like ends better than H2O, and he also says ending of H2O was damn good and unexpected.
Okay, now what? The unexpected part, you got me, Brittany. You got me.
Mm-hmm.
Child Corner, you got me. It's unexpected, but it was sloppy because it's like, okay, why? First of all, okay, why would we do this? Okay, makes no sense. Why would Michael? You know what Michael? Pause. That means Michael beat the guy up on some Scooby-Doo shit, put him in an outfit, take his mouth shut, put a mask on. That's what Michael does now. That's what he does. That's what.
No, he strangled him and broke his throat. He couldn't talk.
Okay, and
broke his larynx.
Okay, cool. And they got him butt ass naked. Put some overalls.
First of all, Michael has been taking clothes and getting people butt naked since 1978.
Well, hang on. Well, technically, Michael doesn't take the underwear. He leaves underwear on there.
Yeah, well, he leaves the underwear on.
He goes commando.
He's not that gross.
The snake came out at some point, or the tadpole came out. He seen it. He had to touch it or something. I'm sorry, guys. But no, seriously, that's why I didn't like it. I'm like, it's too Scooby-Doo-y, man. That whole film was too Scream. Don't be a Scream, be a Halloween movie. Like, if they were gonna do that ending with, you shouldn't do that. Have Michael and Laurie fight. Look, here's the thing. Here's what they could have did, right? The moment where Michael is pressed against the log, right? And they're reaching hands out. Have Michael break the log, just like he did in Halloween Ends, right? Where you thought it was done for Michael, and Michael lifted up off the counter, right? Had them, or in Halloween Resurrection, when you thought Michael was going to fall, but it ended up being Laurie, right? So but really, y'all wanted Michael to beat somebody up, get him butt ass naked, and then Michael's over here just getting away, driving his little ambulance truck, he, ha ha ha, they can't catch me. That's not how I like my Michael, man. It's not how I like it.
Oh, all right. Let's stop talking about my favorite movie. Let's talk about. All
right. You got to bring me on.
Okay.
All right. So coming at number 4, what is yours, Helvington?
Okay, 4. So again, ladies and gentlemen, Hellcats and Hellhounds, shape with all the shapes and the shadows. My number 4. Again, this is off the top of the dome freestyle kind of thing. I don't know where this list is going, but I know where it should go, and I know where it's going to go. So without any more procrastinating, without any more talking, without further ado, okay, I'm going to say it one time for the people, 2 times for the people in the back, and I might say the 3rd time for the people who, aren't here now, but they're going to watch the review of the live. Okay, here I go. My number 4, Scream 6. Scream 6 is going to be my number 4, unfortunately. And again, this was a toss up between Scream 2 and Scream 6 because they're so similar, right? We see the similarities with it, but I feel like because it wasn't as cheesy, because Scream 6 wasn't as cheesy as Scream 2, that's why it gets a slight nod over Scream 2. Okay. Now, the problems that I had with Scream 6, okay, and we recently did a watch party with this, and me and Brittany was kind of talking about it in the watch party. And it was really the family aspect, right? I understand what they were trying to do and understand the nod that they were trying to make to Scream 2, but the characters weren't believable, right? I mean, I remember the sheriff, right? The dad, right? Remember, as soon as he found, quote unquote, found his daughter's body and he came out crying, I knew then he's a killer, right? I knew then that he was a killer. Now let's go to Ethan, right? Ethan. Well, shout out Mindy, right? Because she called it again. And when she called it, I seen it, right? I was like, okay, she has a point there. So it is Mindy. Now let's talk about Bailey, right? Bailey was the most believable out of all three. She was way better than what was her name? Amanda? That was her name, right? In Scream 5? Amber.
See, we don't know.
Right. She was way better than Amber in Scream 5 as far as a killer and her believability, right? And I don't know who killed who in Scream 6. I haven't, deep dived into it like that. But I did believe her more at the end. Her monologue at the end was more believable because she lost her brother, right? Her family's dead. So I believed that more than what the fuck Amber did. Oh, I got, now don't get me wrong. I did enjoy Amber's monologue at the end of Scream 5 when she kept going back and forth and trying to confuse me. But again, Scream 6, it was way better than Scream 2 because of the believability of the characters. But again, it's just not hitting it for me when it comes to a Scream movie. There was a lot of things I would have done differently. I loved how Brittany talked about earlier with Scream 5, how there were certain characters that you wanted to see more of, or, the Chris Brown situation. Well, we kind of got that with Samara Weaving, right? We thought she was going to be a mainstay character like all the other celebrities, right? Hayden Panettiere. I mean, we all knew that there was, of course, people thought she was going to be the opening kill, which she was, right? But
yeah, I called that one.
Right, but at the same time, it's like you kind of want those bigger name celebrities to have a bigger role because look at Hayden Panettiere. Look what she turned into for the Scream franchise. She wouldn't be who she is now for, she's a legacy character now, right? She wouldn't be that if it weren't for her big role in Scream 4, right? And she was a big name celebrity. So I wanted that for Samara Weaving. I thought that she should have been a bigger role in Scream 6 than she was. But all in all, it wasn't a bad Scream film. It just wasn't my cup of tea.
Okay.
Interesting.
I try to be. I don't know.
Whoever, Brittany, what's your number 4?
Okay, so although I was misjudged earlier for this Scream movie being a little closer to my top 3, Scream 2 is actually number 4 for me.
Okay. So I'm liking how we're all similar. I like how we're all the same. Like we don't think too far apart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're kind of like after like kind of switching.
Yeah, we're switching. Yeah.
But okay, Scream 2. Again, Mickey, 30 minutes. Where are you? The cafeteria scene when he was singing on the tables. Although I love a good musical, that was so cringy.
Cornball.
If I was Sydney, although I'd be like, oh my God.
You would have loved it. Stop it.
Yes, I would have loved it because you don't embarrass Bay in front of everybody. You wait till you get back to the dorm and you be like, hey, so what you did at lunch wasn't even cool.
That's off yard shit.
Yeah, like, that's not me. Like, first of all, I'm already targeted. I already have eyes looking at me. So to furthermore my embarrassment, you gonna get on top of some tables and sing and do a dance.
Damn Skippy.
I'm gonna do it again.
And then again, okay, the opening, like you said, I gotta agree, it wasn't all what it was, cranked up to be.
It's still good.
I do I do like the setting, it being in the movie theater and being crazy. That makes a good opening, setting. But yes, why would you put your ear against the bathroom door?
It's in a porno. Like, come on, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing, Omar?
Well, going back to that, right? At least Scary Movie done it right. They put a hole there.
All right, okay.
They put a hole there so you can listen. You know what I mean? So that way he knew exactly where to put the knife at or whatever it was.
There was a whole different bathroom entirely. Okay, they have a special category of those type of bathrooms on different sites.
Tickle. Who's doing that?
But no, seriously, yeah.
But no, yeah, and then again, she did. Even though she wanted to be killed off, she really did a good job. What's her name? Janet, not Janet. Jada Pinkett Smith. She did good, even, and but I don't see that playing out the way I can see, like him stabbing her, and then let's say the movie is finally over or mid movie, people notice that her body just limped over in the seat. Now that would have been good,
right?
To see like the lights come on. Yeah, like the lights come on, and people are getting up, body's just still in there. Mm-hmm. But I just didn't like that opening, like everything. They killed Randy. I didn't like that kill scene. We didn't get to see.
He didn't deserve that.
Yeah, he didn't. Not an off-scene kill at that. Like if we're gonna kill off Randy, like the guy who we look to for these movies to help us, to guide us through. If you're gonna kill him off, I want to see it. I want to see it happen. I want to see, and she was talking all that stuff because he was talking about Billy, which
he was snapping on it though. He was Randy was going off on Mrs. Loomis, bro.
I think he was just, he's still bitter that Billy tapped that before he died, and he still wants Sydney, but he just never was able to get her. And then to Mrs. Lewis, her reasonings were well off, because if you really loved your son, you could have took him with you. The dad cheated, the son didn't cheat, so I don't understand why you just left him with the dad. And then to come back and be like, oh, you killed my son. I was like, well, you killed his spirit, okay? Because of you.
The reason he's a messed up kid.
Yeah. Just like Sydney said, it's your fault. Like, yeah, we 100% blame the parent with that one. She's amazing.
Tyler Corn's got a question for all of us. Okay. It says, question for the whole panel. Do you guys think that Scream 2 and 6 were rushed into production and money grabs?
Oh, yeah. Money grabs for sure.
No, they're not money grabs. They're giving the fans what they want.
No. Are they though?
Yes.
Because they didn't give us Sydney in 6. That's what we wanted. We wanted Sydney, and we didn't get it.
No, we really didn't.
Yeah, Brittany, I feel like we were the only ones that wanted that. There's a lot of people that didn't want that, and I'm mad at them, honestly.
We could have got at least a scene or two. Like, she didn't have to be in New York, but to give it a phone call to help, guide them, or get them last Sydney words of wisdom.
See, I got a problem with Shay. I'm gonna call you out, Shay. I'm gonna call you out. You should have said that. Brittany, don't worry about it, Britt. I got you. Okay.
Get him.
Halloween, Laurie Strode. Okay. Imagine. Okay. This is what it is. Basically, you ain't gotta imagine. This is what happened. You had the legendary Halloween 78. Beautiful masterpiece, right? But the fans wanted more. Okay. They might not have wanted John Carpenter. Everyone else might not have wanted to give you, but they gave us more anyways, right? And unfortunately, at the end of Halloween 2, Laurie Strode survived, right? So, again, she had to come back, right? She had to come back 20 years later, right? So, because the fans wanted her to come back. So, she comes back in Halloween H2O, right? And then the fans are still not satisfied. They're not satisfied. So, then they bring her back for Halloween 2018, okay? And then this whole trilogy is quote unquote, about Laurie and Michael, right? Quote unquote. That's what they tell us, right? So if Jamie Lee Curtis can get handled like with respect, and the Laurie Strode character can get handled with respect like that, Why can we not, as Sidney Prescott and Nev Campbell fans, have the same thing that Jamie Lee Curtis had, and that's the swan send-off? That's all we want. We want a swan send-off. Okay, it's not our fault that they made Scream 4 and then put her in Scream 5. If you're going to do that, then that means you had to finish her story. Because look what they did in Halloween H2O. Her story was quote unquote finished, right? But then they still brought her back. Now I ask you, Shay, even though her story was finished in H2O, because she was in Halloween 2018, would you want to see her in Halloween Kills?
I was gonna hope she died, to be honest.
In 2018?
Yeah.
But you knew there was going to be a trilogy, though. So how does that work?
Okay, so as I said, like when it comes to this, okay, I'm gonna go back to Scream franchise, right? When it comes to, I gotta explain. I got to explain. When it comes to the Scream franchise, right?
Okay.
Again, the Scream franchise has been a continuous with no, alternate universes or different timelines, right? It's been one continuous storyline, right? So at the end of Scream 5, they already established these new characters already and basically passing the torch to the new characters. So it was already, in a way, it was set in motion that was going to happen. But I mean, again, they don't want to pay Nev the money, which that kind of fucking sucks. I mean, I love Nev. She is my number one final girl. But at the same time, it was kind of already passed the torch to the new characters. And again, they already established she does have a family. So for her, really not trying to get involved with the whole Ghostface because she tried to protect her family, kids, husband, everything else. I can see why they didn't bring her back for, Scream 6. But of course, that was money issues, right?
Correct.
But again, you already established these new characters, so it was already passing the torch. When it comes to when it came to Halloween 2018, they came back and of course, as Child of Corn said, Jimmy Curtis was an executive producer, so he's like, oh yeah, I'll come back, for Scream. But again, to me, when it comes to Nev Campbell in the Scream franchise, she's about the fans. When it comes to Jamie Lee Curtis, she's about the money. So of course, she's going to come back for Halloween for money. That's my problem with Jamie Lee Curtis because I have my problem with her already. So like I said, I mean, I would love it to where at the end of 18, she would have died. And we could continue on with Allison and Karen.
Okay, now I got you. Now I got you. Because that was gonna be off. So you're cool with you just want a Michael. You want Michael Myers.
I want Michael. That's why I go see.
Okay. Okay.
So
again, you're cool
if they would have killed off Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween 18, right?
Correct.
And continue on with Allison and Karen,
or Corey.
And then going off to the end to Halloween ends to where they finish it. To where they basically killed the bookeyman for their mother, and did like they did it that way. Like, I would love that for them doing that, but they wanted to have Lori. Lori's going, of course, she's going to be in Kills. She's going to be in Ends. We'll have the final showdown, of course. Yeah. But when it comes to the Scream franchise, again, Scream 5, they already passed the torch to the new characters.
Okay.
So Nev really didn't know how to be in it because again. When Scream 1, it was a boyfriend. Scream 2, it was the boyfriend's mom. Scream 3, it was the half brother. In Scream 4, it was her niece. So there's 4 people tie-in.
So you don't want it to turn it into like a Sidney Prescott movie.
So when we get to Scream 5, it's no longer about Sidney. It's about these kids want to, keep doing their own film of the stab and doing other things. But then Sidney came back because Dewey called her. If Dewey would not called her, she would have never came back.
Okay, I'll meet you in the middle.
But then she came back, right? And they helped out. So to me, at the end of Scream 5, it was like, okay, I'm done. Because you already saw in her face, like, I can't keep doing this. I got family, kids. I can't, risk my life and possibly theirs, to keep fighting Ghostface.
Brittany, I want to know what you think. I want to know.
Okay, no unpopular opinion though. If I do want to see Sidney come back, but I want to see her come back for a conclusion. I just don't like the way they just like have her alive and here. I really want them.
That's what I'm fighting with, Britt. I'm fighting with. Okay, I'm right there with you. But what are they going to do? They're either going to kill her because like Shake said, her conclusion. If it wasn't Scream 4, then it was Scream 5, right? That's perfect. So
yeah, I think they're waiting to bring back
you're saying Billy.
Unpopular opinion. Stu Malker is still alive.
Stu, yes, Stu.
And he's gonna come back and it's gonna be him against Sydney again, or it's gonna be because I'm calling it by the screams from Scream Past.
Okay.
Scream 1 was boyfriend. Scream 2022 boyfriend. Scream 2 was mom. Scream 23
dad in the family.
Dad, family, whatever. Same scenario. So I'm calling it now that the next Scream 7 is going to be another child of either Billy or Stu. And it's going to be like literally Ghostface, Ghostface throne. Like, who will have the final throne? The kid, the child of Billy, who has been, really the heart of the story. Like, everyone thinks it was just Billy. Well, they don't think it was just Billy, but Billy is like the key first well-known Ghostface. Like, you hear Billy's name more than you hear Stu's name. And I feel like for the 7th one, that should be bringing back either a kid of Billy to fight against another kid of Billy to see who, will have the title of bloodline, or it will be kid of Billy, kid of Stu, which legacy will live on, the Malker legacy or the Loomis legacy. And that's what I think they'll be going with that. And I think that they should have that one either open with the kill of Sydney or somewhere within. Listen, that would blow our minds if we had our
I walked the
kill.
fuck out the theater. If you thought I was mad at Dewey, I'm walking the fuck out. I'm walking the fuck out.
I want something different. That would be something really different. And it would throw us all off. We would all be really confused.
I'll
and want to know who was this person.
I'm quitting.
Hey, how about this? I'll give you guys something. I'll give you guys something you've never seen before.
The fuck out.
Ready for this one, Helvington? You ready for this one?
Yeah.
Ready for this one, Brittany? Here it comes, right?
Do it.
So, say they decide to give Nev her money, right? Say, you know what? We want to come back for Scream, or they can do, again, the conclusion to the Scream franchise, right? To have Nev Campbell come in for the final Scream, right? The final Scream. Now,
right? Scream 7 is the final one, right?
If Scream 7 becomes, we're going to probably get another freaking Scream after 7. So, but anyways, but so say she comes back, right?
Okay.
And then everything else, right? And then the killer's right, but the killer is actually around where Sydney's at.
Wherever she's at. Okay.
Yeah. And they start, this killing's happening there, trying to lure out Sydney.
Okay.
And then at the end, where it's the final showdown between Sydney and Ghostface, and the killer has been revealed, Billy Loomis's daughter. Because she's already seeing Billy. She's already seeing her dad. And through the mirror, glass, whatever, she's seeing him. He's talking to her. Hey, you're like me. You're a killer. It's part of the family, it's part of our bloodline, right? And you're seeing the way she talks to people. Here's the kills. Oh yeah, well your son was a little pussy. Your son was a little bitch. Blah blah. Oh boo hoo hoo. How she was taunting the father and the siblings, and then how she basically was as Ghostface talking, and she comes out and starts killing the dad. Especially her boyfriend. You see those killer tendencies. So it's like maybe she's got some crazy in too, like her dad.
Okay.
Would you freak out if that was actually Scream 7?
That's actually a really good idea because again, like you said, she's been having the hallucinations, and that's great. I can see like both of what you. I'm over here looking at if you combine both of what you guys said, right? Combined, there might be a suspect child of Stu Malker, right? But then also deal with Sam finally giving in to her dad's feelings. Because that's another thing that we never really touched upon, right? In Scream 5 and Scream 6. How is Sam coping with these hallucinations, right? While being around Sidney Prescott, right? Like we only seen her. We seen it for a second when Richie and Sam had that little thing, but Sydney was in the other room, right? So what does Billy say when when Sydney comes around Sam? What is he? Is he going to tell her to kill her? Is he going to plot? Or let's go what off Brittany says. What happens if, Stu comes back? Will that bring Billy out of Sam more to, to kill off the legacy killer? right? So both of what you guys said will be fucking great films, and I agree that both of what you guys said will be a finale, right? If it is,
Mhm.
it has to be a finale because what Brittany said was really smart. She said Scream 1 and Scream 5, right? Parallel. Scream 2, Scream 6. Okay. The Scream 3 was the finale for Sidney Prescott. That was her send away movie. So if that's true, if we're going off of the pattern, that means Scream 7 has to be the finale in the trilogy, right? Because Scream 4 was the revamp, right? And then you had Scream 5, Scream 6, right? So Scream 7 will be if they do bring it back in the future for a Scream 8, whatever, it's going to have to do it. Shape, you're 100% correct. Brittany, you're 100% correct. This has to be the end of Sydney's story. It has to be because the pattern only makes sense. You have to follow the pattern. Scream 3, she survived, right? Look at the end of Scream 3, how the door opens at the end, and Sydney, she shuts the door and she doesn't lock it, right? That symbolizes that she's moved on from Ghostface. Now in Scream 7, she has to lose. And that, ladies and
Mhm.
gentlemen, I'll fucking cry. I will fucking bawl my eyes out because I know it's going to happen. And to me, Shape, I feel like if Jamie Lee Curtis was a better person in real life, you would have the same reaction if she died in her story because that's Sidney fucking Prescott from '96, right? Like, I don't even want to think about it. You guys got me thinking about it. This turned real morbid real quick. Jesus Christ.
Listen, I had a plot already dug for Gail for 6, but that plot just still sitting open because she didn't take it.
Yeah.
So yeah, either Gail will be our last standing original,
No.
or it would be Sydney.
They're all
But
gone.
I really want them to bring Sydney back because I don't feel 5 was a good sending off movie for her. I just didn't like the end of 5 for her to be her send off movie. Like she gave Sam a little piece of advice about how like
Right.
no, you're not going to be okay, but you'll make it through it. But I want to see her deal with something else. Like even though, like you said, I want to know also what does the part of Sam that has Billy, how does that feel when she's around Sydney? Because they were only together, and was able to like talk, which seemed really awkward because how awkward that be you being the love child of Billy when Billy was with Sydney. So that's awkward within itself. But I want to see Sydney have a final showdown show because her and the Amber showdown with her, Amber and Gail, that wasn't it for me for it that to be Sydney's final kill because Sydney didn't kill Richie. That was Sam. I want Sydney to come back and get that final headshot, or she gets stabbed and she give us her farewell, even though I will cry and I will lay down on the floor on those disgusting theater floors and I will roll into tears.
Run out the theater.
I want to see it happen.
Getting butt naked, run out the theater and crying. They're about to call the police on
Okay, no. Let's not get butt naked.
Okay, but no, I have a couple questions now because you guys got my mind racing. Okay, first question, right? You remember how in Scream 5 and Scream 6, the kill count was really low when it comes to a Scream film. Like you have, what if they're saving all Mindy, Chad, Tara, Sydney, Gail? What if they all die in 7? What if we have the most ultimate fucking because again, what if this time the rules have really changed? Everyone's dying. This is it. This is it. Now, check this out. I'm going off of what both you guys said, right? What if Stu comes back, right? Because maybe the opening kill is Gail, and they find out, and I've said this before. Gail's on the phone. She calls Sid, but this time we know who the killer is because Gail called Sid in the beginning. She said it's Stu. Hangs up the phone. Gail's dead. That's why Sid comes back, right? Now, Sid comes back, and then she's fighting. She fights Stu. Stu kills Sydney because it's only right? They bring it all the way back to the beginning. Have Stu kill Sydney, but at the very fucking end, have Sam blow fucking Stu's his head out because Billy again. What did Brittany say? there only can be one legacy killer, motherfucker, and it's me. And it's my daughter, not you and your kid, right? So you can throw that in there. And then, yes, Sydney's dead, but damn, what a fucking movie that was. You know what I'm saying? You have the most massive kill count in the history of the Scream for a single movie. All the important characters die. Characters are coming back. There's love childs. There's hallucinations. There's Sidney Prescott getting killed. I mean, this is the finale, right? If we're going to have the finale, let's do it. I think that'd be perfect. I think what both you guys said is that would be a perfect send-off for the Scream franchise.
And I want to see who Sam and Tara's mom is, because that's a big mystery person too that we've never seen. And I'm still banking on it being the girl from the movie theater, even though people are saying that she's a blonde and Sam and Tara are both brunettes. First of all, her roots are dark, so she's a bleach blonde. That's box. So that means she's a natural brunette, or it's dark hair. So she could still be, you know, some type of Latino, Hispanic, and just bleaching her hair. And I would want to see either her be an opening kill or a kill throughout, you know, a scene of the movie. But she gonna have to get it, because I just don't like I don't appreciate the way she did Sam, and definitely don't appreciate the way she did Tara.
And that's something you can play with, right? You can play with that, with, you know, how they did with Loomis, Mrs. Loomis, and how she treated Billy, right? Remember how she treated Billy, and the way Billy ended up being. What if Sam has a hallucination of Billy, and Billy has those feelings come up for his mother, and then so he persuades Sam to kill her biological mother, right? That is something, again. This Scream 7, I think, I can't wait. I mean, and that's why I think that they're waiting so long on the film. I think these little rumors of, you know, Neve Campbell, Jenna Ortega, you know, the actress who plays Sam working on. I think that they're really sitting down and saying, okay, if this is it, and I think the biggest question that they have is, are we going to give the people what they want, and are we going to bring Stu back? Can we make it happen?
We should. I feel like they should just dig up that old Scream 3 script, dust it off, you know, add some, you know, modern what's going on now with, you know, everybody at the new characters, but let's bring Stu in, because he is the only one who did not get the shot in the head, or a knife to the head, because the knife to the head is now equivalent to being shot in the head.
Yes,
that's TV on his
face. I mean, again, that's I mean,
pride.
That's just that goes into a whole other controversy of people getting struck by lightning.
Okay, but hey, I could kind of see Stu living, but again, TV dropped on, because I mean, honestly, Chad got stabbed by two Ghostface multiple times, and he's like, "We did it, we made it, we lived."
Thank you. So if that can happen, then Stu, maybe that's why they did it, because for all the ones who are like, "No, Stu can't come back." Well, you're, and that's the thing. Everyone's okay with Chad getting stabbed 20 times and him living, right? But then you ask the same people, can Stu come back? No, can't come back. Motherfucker, what? What? Makes no sense.
And then what's his name? What was his name? The killer. Ethan. Like, Tara did him in, like, down the throat. Like, and then Sam right before then stabbed him up. So he was still kicking enough to jump up and get hit with a TV, which maybe finally killed him. We don't know. But see, if he can still live through all that, and Chad being stabbed on both sides, puncturing lungs, hitting arteries, like, Chad's dead to be. I think this is just an out of body experience that Tara's having.
Chad is dead. Like, people are dead. Like, come on. I love it. I do, but they're dead.
And I still wonder how was Mindy able just to leave the hospital? Like, you were stabbed in your. I guess a stab wound in the stomach is, you know, equivalent to a paper cut.
But what they did me dirty with, right? What they did me dirty with is, are they trying to make Gail Weathers the new Dewey? Because look what happened in Scream 4, right? She should have died, right? Well, I mean, She only got stabbed in the shoulder, but I mean, she could have bled out, but she survived, right? So
and she got shot.
And she got
shot when she first came up.
When she got shot when she came up the ladder, and then she got stabbed in the shoulder. So Scream, and then look at Scream 6, right? That whole scene with Gail, she should be dead. Like
that was a good scene.
Like you're a whole 50-year-old woman who just got stabbed like, bad, and like there's no way you have any strength to do any of what you did to stop that knife from impaling your throat. But then Dewey is going against a 5'3", 120-pound woman, not even a woman, a kid, right? Like they treated Amber like Corey Cunningham against Michael Myers. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, guys? There ain't no damn way. Like Corey Cunningham just got bullied by some freaking high school band students, not a rock band, ladies and gentlemen, band students. Got bullied.
Not too much on the band kids.
Because
I was a band kid. Let's not do too much.
Anyways, but yeah. But seriously,
we were vicious out there. Like we these some gangsters in the stands.
The way that Hollywood is treating these, I'm just like, so to answer Child of Corn's question earlier, is it a money grab? Half of me feels like it is a money grab, but then half of me feels like, they want these films to come out, Like they want to give us what we want, but at the same time, what they're giving us isn't what the fuck we want, Like Shaping the Shadows is the hugest Michael Myers fan. That man has to wait another God knows how long before he gets a good Halloween film. Like a legitimate, like he can't even go watch Halloween Ends to even I've tried, guys. I've tried. I really have. I've tried so hard. I really have. But when I see the title on the movie say Halloween, and then I think about all the moments in the Halloween franchise, and then I watch Halloween Ends, and I'm like, this has no good qualities at all. Like everyone's like, yeah, but Corey Cunningham's so cool. Okay, I'm not watching a Halloween movie for Corey Cunningham, right? I'm not watching it for a love story I'm not watching it for a Lost Boy kind of love story. I'm not doing that. Like I'm watching it because I want to see Michael fucking Myers versus Laurie fucking Strode. And then hold on, now you got me back on Halloween. I'm sorry it happens. It happens, Shape. I'm sorry. Look at Halloween Kills, okay? My biggest complaint, where the fuck is Laurie Strode? Oh my God, she was in a hospital for half the movie, right? Then they turn right around and they just smacked me in my face. It was like, oh, you want Laurie Strode? Here, take her. But you can't have Michael. Son of a bitch. I didn't ask for that.
It's like I wasn't trying to trade one out. I wasn't bargaining. I want both.
I gotta get both because have you seen Halloween 78? Have you seen it? Did you see Halloween 2? Did you see it? Did you see H2O? Hell, did you see H2O? Like literally, this turned into Michael Myers and Corey Cunningham, the love story no one ever asked for. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, all right. Well, that's your question, Child of Corn. Yeah, I do believe it's money grabs. I mean, again, everything's pretty much money grabs. I mean, if you want to look at it, right, when Halloween 2018 came out, the title was called Halloween.
Yes.
And then Scream, then Scream 5 came out. It was titled Scream. And if you want to look at the similarities between Halloween 18 and Scream 5, again.
Yeah.
But basically, Halloween 18 is kind of like a reboot / sequel to the original.
Yeah.
Scream 6, or not Scream 6, Scream 5 has that similarities from the original.
Wow. I never noticed that. And then if you go into Halloween Kills, right, with the hospital and stuff like that, and how it was so similar to Halloween 2, right, with the hospital in Halloween 2, and so I can see. So I see what you're saying, Shape. They're basically just redoing the formula of the original. You know what I'm saying? Of the original, what they're supposed to be. I can see that.
Charlie Corn says, question for everyone. It says, should 18 be a stand? So after this one, we got to get back to our ranking, guys. Should 2018 be a standalone film and Michael Myers die in the fire? I think so. Okay, for I'm gonna go first for that right there. Halloween 18 was supposed to be kind of like a standalone film. Then they decided to do Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. Now again, Halloween 18 Kills and Ends was supposed to be all in one night, but then again, COVID happened, so they kind of like spread out ends and kills, right? But Halloween 18 actually had a different alternate ending to where they were going to use where Michael and Laurie and Allison and Karen are fighting out in front of the house.
Mhm.
And supposedly, Michael gets shot with a bow and arrow. Basically, Laurie's about pretty much dead, and then Michael kind of like gets up and walks off into the woods, basically just to die.
Mhm.
That was kind of like that. I mean, if they would have done it like that, for it to be like a standalone film, yeah, I would actually enjoy that. But when it comes to 18, when Michael actually died in the fire, yes, for a certain extent, because again, when things are collapsing and stuff like that, I mean, there's always ways to get out. There's always going to be ways to get out. I mean, again, if something collapses enough to where you can like stack stuff on top, and climb out, get the house, there's always could be scenarios to where Michael Myers could escape the fire.
Mhm.
So, but if they would have went to the original ending to where they had that big fight, we actually get a fight for Laurie and Allison and Karen with Michael, I think they're probably better. That would have been for me a standalone.
Yeah.
That would have been really good.
Yeah. I think this is gonna be controversial, and I want to know what you guys think. And then I promise, once Brittany goes, we'll get back to the screen. I just love talking Michael. I really do. I really don't want my final girl to survive. I don't. I want my boogeyman to win. Because for me, it goes back to Nightmare on Elm Street with Nancy, right? And how she gave it her all to the very end with Freddy, but then she never overcame Freddy, right? And Nancy has always stuck to me at the top of the list because she gave it all to her boogeyman, and yet her boogeyman still won, right? So for me, I don't want Michael to die. I think the ending, I want Laurie to die. I want all my final girls to die because it symbolizes what horror movies are always supposed to have been about. The boogeyman, the monster, the evil. Evil always wins, right? Even though we all want the final girl to win, and they should in a certain number of films. But if you have a franchise, the franchise has to come to an end. And if you want the franchise to live on, right, the winner has to be the boogeyman. If you want a revamp, a reboot, a remake, whatever, then Michael has to win. Laurie has to die. Sidney has to die. Ghostface has to win. Freddy has to win. Nancy, like that is the tail end. So for me, I'm fine with Halloween 2018 being a standalone film as long as Laurie and Michael have their final showdown, like Shape said in the alternate ending. Have that showdown, but have Laurie die and maybe Karen die. Have Allison win, right? Not win, but have her be the only woman to make it out to be the new final girl, and then have Michael go into the woods to do what he does. What he does is survive. So I agree. Your turn, Britt. What do you think?
Okay, yes. Halloween 2018 would have been better as just a standalone film by itself. And I do like the ending that Shape said because that, with it ending with us, passing it to Allison.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind my final girl dying.
Right.
At some point, it's kind of like with Sidney Gill and Dewey. Well, with Dewey.
Yeah.
I knew at some point we were going to lose one of the three.
Right.
I would have preferred Gail go first, but we never get what we want. I just have an attachment to Dewey. Like Dewey's always been there for us. Like Dewey was our older big brother that always watched out for us. Like
it's
he's
fucking
goofy.
David Arquette. You know what I'm saying? It's
exactly. So yes, I want my final girl to have that final showdown, that final big battle, which Halloween 2018 would have been good because it's been 40 years since the first one. And to have that final battle between her and Michael, and it seemed like she's getting the best of him, and then to have Karen come up and try to like help get the best of him, but then he kills Karen, and then that gets Laurie the little bit of energy to get up, and then her and Michael have that final showdown. They're fighting, and then let's just say they both stab each other at the exact same time.
Oof, like in Resurrection.
Yes, but let's say once they connect, then here comes Allison to the back of Michael, and then he throws her off because he's freaking out because he knows that this was it, and Laurie falling and then Allison coming to Laurie, and then like you said Michael going off to bleed and get his energy and stuff back for maybe a next one, because I don't want Michael to die, because it's Michael. It's the boogeyman. You can't kill the boogeyman. You can attempt.
Yeah.
But I feel like they should have left that open for, even though that would be a standalone movie, for the next one to come out, be a whole different. It'll be a different movie because we have a different final girl. We have Allison. Yeah, but it's the same universe. Like it's what they were attempting to do with
Ends.
Halloween 3.
Oh, 3. With
the witch. Like it being it's what is it?
It happens in the same universe, but it's its own story.
Yes, but it's like how they do American Horror Stories. Like it's the same universe, but each episode is something different.
Yeah.
And that's what that could have been, just with Allison as our new final girl, but still bringing back Michael.
Now I got one more. I promise, Shape. I promise one more thing. I promise. I don't mean to. Okay, it's just now I haven't got to talk to Michael in a minute. Now, what if the ending, right? For you H2O lovers out there, this is for you guys. All right, so the ending, right? Take Halloween Ends, right, where Laurie and Michael are fighting, right? Have that happen, and then the very next scene, the fight spills out to outside. Have it happen to where, like Brittany said, Michael kills Karen, right? And then that makes Laurie mad. Laurie goes up to kill Michael. Then Michael kills Laurie, right? But then Allison comes out of nowhere with a fucking axe and just chops his head off.
That would have been good.
That would have been fucking lit. Everybody would have been like, yeah, what the fuck?
Or she would have came up with a shotgun and blew his head off. Just like we came up with Karen's shotgun and boom.
But that would give the. So what do you think, Shay?
Again, I don't like Michael Myers dying. I don't like that at all. But
what you like? Oh, okay.
I mean, honestly, when it comes to it, like I said, I would enjoy Laurie to die, and Michael kind of keep continuing, and like we continue off with Allison, and Carrie, go after Michael and everything. But with that scenario where basically the fight breaks out, so say Halloween Kid, like I said, if they would have continued the original plan where Halloween 18 kills ends will be one night, right? And you have basically Michael kills Karen and kills, and then it continues on. They're still trying to find Michael and everything else, and freaking Laurie's upset, and they shoot after Michael, right? And they're having a big fight, like you said. They're down there, they're fighting the streets again. You got people coming around. Michael's killing everybody, and then basically Michael kills Laurie. Okay, and Laurie's technically still kind of breathing, but she's about dead. And then Michael goes for the final, stab, and then Allison comes out of nowhere and basically puts a gun to Michael's head, says, "Happy Halloween, Michael." Bam.
I like that.
Just like a grandma. Just like a grandma.
But then you have both Laurie and Michael dead.
I like that. I like that.
That would be a good conclusion.
Like you, I don't need my boogeyman to die because I think what Michael and Freddy and Ghostface and all these, I think what they represent to us is death, right? That is death. You can't escape it. Just like Final Destination, right? Tony Todd, right? So I think it's only natural for us to want all the final girls to die. But that's it. We're done Halloween. Okay, let's go back to the list.
Okay, so we got to refresh. Okay, so Alvington is, number 6 is, you said Scream 5, right?
Yes, 5. That was my number.
And then number 5 was Scream 2.
Yes.
And then what was number 4?
Scream 6.
Scream 6. Okay, and then Brittany's, yours was what? Scream 5 was number.
Scream 6. I mean, no. 6 was Scream 4. 5 was Scream 5, and then my 4 was Scream 2.
2. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then mine was, I forgot. It was Scream 4 and then Scream 2. So my number 4 is going to have to be. Oh, it was a tough one. But I'm going to go Scream 5.
Okay.
We're
not going to
it killed. I mean, I do. Like I said, I do kind of like like similarities from the original Scream. They kind of, again, they're trying to revamp a little bit. Basically give us legacy characters, but trying to start something fresh and new in a way.
Yeah.
But again, I just hated when they killed off Dewey. I mean, again, he survived this whole time, but again, as they took from I want to say Halloween Kills, killing some legacy characters off, I think Dewey was the choice to get killed off.
It could have been.
That's what I'm saying. It should have been Gale. I mean, I feel like it's a sin, right? Like there's not a lot of sins in movies. Like there's not. But that's the sin that you don't break and scream. You don't kill Dewey. You just don't. Like until it's the finale. Unless it's a finale. Because honestly, can we talk about it? There's 2 more Scream movies that Sidney Prescott's going to be in and Gale Weathers. Why? What's the reason?
Dewey.
What's the reason Dewey couldn't have made it to the end? If you wanted to kill Dewey off, you should have killed him off with Gale, with Sidney, not just him by himself. And then what even makes it worse is y'all were scared. Y'all didn't even touch any of the new characters in the new movie. You didn't touch any of them. Not one died that made it into Scream 6. But yet they were so quick to get off Dewey. I just can't respect that.
Yep, they did Dewey extremely wrong, and I cry every night knowing that Dewey's not in the Scream world anymore.
I need to find out what was the reason behind that. I got to do some research because I know.
What I think comes with Dewey is during all the Scream films, leading up to Scream 5, it was always Dewey and Gale, and they're back and forth, on and off, this, that, yada, 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 right?
Right.
So, in a way for me, with Dewey's death, even though I hated Dewey's death, but with Dewey's death was kind of putting an end to that. And it's like, in a way, it's kind of like tragedy, very tragic because, if you love somebody and, you guys had kind of fallen out, whatever, and you're going to try to make it work, and one of you ends up dead, that right there is kind of like a real hitter because again, the person that you love is like, I can never tell him that I love him ever again because now he's dead, or vice versa. So you can kind of really see in a way Dewey's death didn't really have to happen, but I guess it was kind of necessary for the story with Gale, like finally wait, coming to herself, like I should have stayed with you. I should have, been there. I should have done this and been with you. I mean, to me, that's what I see.
I respect that, but that's not what she did. Like that, if they would have did it that way, then I understand because you are 100% correct. If you lose a loved one, then you're like, I got to move on. I can't be. But the way they handled her, first off, she reacted great to Dewey's death, but then it felt like in Scream 5, she forgot about it really fucking quick, right? Because she had to handle business. So I'll give her a pass there. But then in Scream 6, she has a whole fucking boyfriend. And like and Dewey just died last year. Literally just died. So I think it actually hurt their situation because they weren't on the best of terms throughout the whole franchise, but it seemed like they were getting better. In Scream 4, it looked like they were good, right? Scream 5, it turned out that they had a little trouble. And then Scream 6, it's like she's over here messing with this whole guy over here. And I'm like, okay, now that's like a real smack in the face to Dewey. Now, did you not agree, Shay? Like, when you seen, did that not cross your mind that she was a dirtbag to that? Like,
I was like, Gail, did we not just forget that Dewey just died? Like, it's only been a year.
It's been a year.
And you got a whole nother, although props to you, sis, for getting you a chocolatey delight.
No. Wait a damn minute.
Okay, props to her for, because sis got needs. But,
I understand, but wait a minute. Dewey was packing now. Hold on. Dewey had a 45 in his pocket. Wait a minute.
I feel like she was cheating on Dewey because I feel like you not grieving, so you didn't give it enough time. Like his body is still warm. Like he's not even.
But then again, they're already like broken up during the Scream 5.
Yeah. But I mean, still though, it's like okay, me and my wife never broke up, but it was like okay. If we're during a break and you really got history with somebody, like you've seen dead bodies together, right? Then it's like, okay, if we're in a break, but apparently Gale Weathers' break was, getting some D. And hey, that's fucked up. That's Shape. That's fucked up. It's like we at home.
Some
We live in it. We live. Look, no. This is what dude was at home, living in a trailer, right, chilling, right, waiting on his girl to come back, and she's over here just in New York. You know what I'm saying? Got a whole man to it. I have to believe she was cheating on him in Scream 5. I think she was with the man in Scream 5. So then she gonna. You know what? Now I hate Gail. You guys made me hate Gail Weathers. You guys made me hate because now that whole scream she did in Scream 5, it was fake. Dewey, don't even worry about it. It was a fake scream. She screams louder for the guy in New York. But you know what? Dewey, the guy in New York is now dead too. So there's some solace there. All right, moving on.
Oh my God. And then not to mention that she had Dewey become put him down in the bottle, like had him drinking.
That's what she was
drinking like that.
Like for
hurt his soul.
Imagine what she was saying to the guy for him to be nose deep in a bottle. My man was nose deep. He went from being the sheriff of freaking Woodsboro with a freaking $300,000 salary to living in a trailer nose deep in a bottle. Look, Gail Weathers, you are a dirtbag. You should have not survived. Okay. All right, I'm done, Gail. I'm done. All right,
that's why your other boyfriend's dead now.
Yeah, that's why your other man's dead. The next guy's gonna be dead too. All right.
So what comes in number 3, Helvington?
Okay, for number 3. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets really interesting. Okay, so again, off the top of the dome, freestyle, but I promise you, I'm not gonna take any more of your time because my number 3 must be. Oh, this is a hard one, man. This is a hard one for me, man. This is a really hard one. So, this next movie used to be really low on my list until Scream 6 and Scream 5 came out. Now that these films have came out, I can now give you what I need to tell you. And now what I have to tell you is my number 3. Okay, seriously. My number 3 has to be Scream 3. Scream 3 for sure. I love Scream 3. It is such a fun film. I didn't used to like it because I thought it was kind of cheesy, but it wasn't as cheesy as Scream 2. Definitely not as cheesy as Scream 6. So Scream 3 has some great qualities. Okay, first off, it has the greatest, and I do mean greatest. Listen to me. You're hearing what I'm saying, right? Stu, Billy, move over. We have the greatest Ghostface ever with Roman. Roman is the best. Now, hear me out. I'm going to give you the reasons why, Britt. Okay? Now, we all know Billy and Stu had that legendary monologue with Sydney at the end of Scream 96. But would you believe me that that's not the best back and forth dialogue that Sidney Prescott has had?
Oh.
It was with Roman. That dialogue, that fight scene between Roman and Sidney Prescott, oh my God. To this day, I watch the film and I get goosebumps every time because it hits home, right? We've had that person in our life who feels like they're entitled, right? That just feels like they get everything they want while we just sat back and we got nothing, right? So that hit home for me in Scream 3. I had siblings, but when that film came out, I was the oldest, but I did have people in my family, so it hit home. And then if you look at the way Scream 3 is shot with the house, right? How they brought the house back from 96 with the replica, right? And then that film, that was the only Scream film I feel like you did not know who the killer was. Seriously. Mm-hmm. I will pay somebody money if they can prove to me that they called it being Roman from the beginning. You couldn't have, because Roman played it off so well. You had no idea it was Roman. Like, there might have been a couple times, right? Especially with the only time that I thought it could have been Roman was with the scene where Ghostface is hiding in the racks, in the costume racks, right? Mm-hmm. I thought it could have been Roman, right? Because he was the last one to see the girl alive before that happened, because he had just stormed out. But other than that, I mean, Roman actually died in the film. He faked his death in the film. Like, who does that, right? No other killer has done that. No other killer has faked their death since. Well, I mean, you got Scream 4 and all that. But anyways, Roman did it, and so for me, Roman stole the show. And the fact is, I feel like Roman doesn't get enough credit. right? We always talk about Billy, Stu, Jill. What about Roman? Roman was a mastermind. He literally put a whole stab franchise together just to kill Sydney.
Yeah.
Literally. So for me, it used to be really low on my list, but again, my top 3, it changes all the time depending on which movie I watched recently. But I will go down and say that Roman is the best Ghostface out of all the Ghostface.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, you're Hellmaster. Hey, I'll say some hot topics. All right.
Go ahead, Brittany.
Okay. So, like Helvington, my number 3 is also Scream 3. We finally see eye to eye. No, okay. So, like you said, I didn't guess it was Roman. I didn't guess it was Roman till I want to say when they checked his pulse. I'm like, wait a minute, we've never checked a pulse in all of Scream, but we're gonna check a pulse now. I was a little question in the back of my head. But also number 3, the opening is one of my favorites.
Oh, yes.
The Cotton Weary.
Oh, yes.
Driving crazy down, I don't know, some street
Hollywood
in
Boulevard,
Hollywood.
LA, the LA Turnpike. I don't know.
It just, that scene to me, it got me. I was like, not only did we get a different voice for the call, it immediately tricked him. He was like almost gonna marry this other person, not remembering that he. I mean, we kind of already knew that. He was sleeping with the married woman.
Oh yeah. What's a dirtbag? Always a
dirtbag. And like you said, Roman is one of also my top Ghostface. Like, he's not the best. He's Billy.
He's a single.
Billy's
killer.
number 1.
He was the
Billy's
only
number 1.
But he did it by himself. He did it with. Look, who said it? I went platinum with no features. Who's that? J. Cole? I went platinum with no features, bro. Like,
but Billy would have never got the idea.
Oh, well,
okay. He got it from Roman. Roman was, a good pusher for that.
There would be no.
But if not for Billy going ahead and taking the initiative, I'm like, listen.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and take Sydney out. We already, did her mother in. We might as well take her out too. And then so that's where Roman was like, you know what? I want to take her out too. She stole my life. Just like the same reasons Billy had. Billy thought that Sydney kind of stole his life. Well, her mom, stole his life because his mom ended up leaving his family and it just was downhill. Same thing with Roman. But I think Roman got the, what is it? He had
the balls to do it.
No, Roman had the taste after. No, Billy didn't fail because I mean, okay, he failed at killing Sydney.
Pussy ass mama's boy.
He failed at killing Sydney, but he got the mom. He got the important people. See, Roman didn't get anyone of importance.
You're right there.
He took out his own. If anything, he did it to, increase the money in his pocket because he just took out the people that was working for him. He didn't take out he did take out the man who kind of started Sydney's mom's down spiral.
The dirtbag, the real dirtbag.
Yeah, the real dirtbag of the movie.
Dirtbag McGee, that's him.
Which I thought low key he might have been the killer.
He's too old. I knew his dirtbag.
I thought maybe it would have been him. If I was still going on the fact that it might have been 2, so I thought maybe he was one trying to cover up the fact that Sydney's mom. This is the movies that you've been doing this whole time. It's about the woman who was, whatever happened that night. We all know what happened that night. That's why you will be taking. Well, that's why he would want to take Sydney out because maybe Sydney or someone knew that secret. Even though he was way off because Roman was the product of that night and he knew everything. But Scream 3, yeah, he was the product.
Now he's the product.
He was the product of what happened that night to Sydney's mom. But I do like his motive.
Oh yes.
Even though it was, childlike because my dude, although your mom gave you up at birth, you had a really your life seemed like you were comfortable. Like you're a director now, you got money. I wouldn't have like after she turned you away, I would have been like, a little bummed out, but nothing to, go kill, especially Sydney over. But I did like that motive of him like, I'm gonna, take out my basically who was my competition. And that whole ending of them going back and forth is one of my favorites. My favorite back and forth because that's like brother sister. Like I've had arguments with my brother like that, like not too loud to where mom could hear because the cuss words were flying. But we've yelled and argued with each other back and forth just like that. And for them to have just realized, well, for Sydney to just realize brother and sister, they jumped into it. They jumped to the argument in that fight scene as if they've known each other and lived under the same roof, and they were arguing over the bathroom. That was just a really good scene. Was the end.
Do you mind, Shape, if I show a quick clip? It's not enough to get you demonetized. I promise you. I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't.
Oh, you're fine.
All right. My favorite line out of the whole entire Scream franchise. I'm going to show it to you guys. And I think, Brittany, you can agree with me. I think we can agree on something else. So
I think if I'm right,
you're right. You're right.
It's the scene I'm thinking.
You're right. I know you're right. I know you're right. All right, here we go.
You kill people, Roman, do you? Don't want to hear it! Because you choose to! There is no one else to blame! Fucking damn it! Take some fucking responsibility! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Oh my god, dude! Like, dude!
That is one of my favorite scenes when she's like going in on him and like, this is your problem. This is why you're doing it. It has nothing to do with me. And he's like freaking out, like, shut up. And then like, like F you.
Dude, I'm every time I see that scene, I just start shaking because I'm like, bro, Sydney, like, you ain't have to do my man's like that. She broke him down. Like, why don't you grow up and take some fucking responsibility? Hey, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on now, wait a minute. I done killed 10 people, and you telling me to grow up, bitch? Now you know what I'm saying?
You killed 10 people of none importance to our situation.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, Billy was the only one to really hit Sydney where it hurts. Okay.
Oh yeah, because the mom. I mean, that's.
But Scream 3, I agree. It's such an underrated film. Roman underrated. Cotton Weary as well. He's another character that's underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Cotton is an underrated character. Scream 3 it's just a fun film. And the lookalikes, right? The Gail Weathers actress who plays Gail Weathers, or you know what I'm trying to say here.
Parker Posey, shout out to her. Posey. She carried this with her on her back because she was hilarious as Gail.
Great. And even the brunette girl, the one that was sleeping with the old man.
I forget her real name, but
yeah, even she did things. Good. Like the Scream 3 had a phenomenal cast. So again, top 3 for me. I can turn on. The thing with my top 3 is any of these 3 films I can turn on any time of the day, any time of the year, and sit there and actually watch the film.
Yeah,
that was a great number 3. Great number 3. What is your Shape?
For me, it had to be Scream 6, actually.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Okay, from the reason why I pick Scream 6 because I do like how the Ghostface is kind of in this film. He's more aggressive. He's actually going out in public, no less. Like actually going to gas station, blowing the guy, killing him, going to train. He's actually doing more. I actually do enjoy this Ghostface. But also too, I do enjoy. It kind of got my attention because it's like there's this whole warehouse with all the Ghostface, all lined up, like the shrine and everything else. And it's like, man, it's like that's kind of like a call to all of us, horror fans, for our franchise, because we do that. If you guys see my room, I basically got a shrine to Michael Myers. If I could have all the memorabilia, you know what I mean? It's like, hell yeah, I would love to have my own little warehouse with all my stuff in there. You know what I mean? So
that came.
So it kind of drew me to that. But I do like the way the Ghostface looked. They did kind of like take again the kind of the rotted type mask with 18 be more older. So I mean, I kind of see that. I do enjoy that, but I do like the way he looked like that. You know, it was more kind of like this Ghostface like one wasn't playing around, which I kind of enjoy.
Yeah.
So in a way, that's why. But I said I did have fun with Scream 6. That's why I put it at number 3.
And you have a lot of great points there. There's a lot of Easter eggs in the film. You see Michael in the film. You see Hellraiser, Friday the 13th, Jason. And like you said, the way Ghostface looked in that film, he looked a lot more menacing, right? You talk about the shotgun scene in the New York bodega. That I remember seeing that in the trailer, and me and Brittany just lost our fucking minds because we were like, "What? This motherfucker just shotgun somebody to the." Do you guys know the shotgun does to a watermelon? Like that's what happened to this guy's head. You know what I'm saying? So like the public thing, I can agree. It is a fun film, a very fun film. But I gotta disagree on the top 3. I'm sorry. I gotta disagree. But it's still a great. I could honestly watch Scream 6 multiple times. I really can. I can watch it multiple times. And like you said, if you go into that film and have fun, it's a good film. But if you go into that film for continuity and it's not there, you know. But what movie is nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So we on number 2, number 1. What are we on?
Number 2 now. So we're down to the wire now. First, now it's coming to top 2 now.
All right.
What's your number 2, Elvington?
For my number 2, man. All right. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, without any stalling, without any hesitation, okay, my number 2 has to be, without a shadow of a doubt, without a crumb on the floor, without a cookie, without a mouse, without a cookie. Okay, my number 2 has to be Scream 4. And I know you guys are like, oh my God, Helvington, you are a piece of shit. What is wrong with you? Listen, let me talk to you guys. Okay. Scream 4 is a phenomenal film. It's a phenomenal Scream film. Okay. How, Helvington? Well, I'm glad you asked. But you see how, okay. Anyway, I'm glad you asked. So Scream 4 is a great film because if you look at it, right, we're back in Woodsboro. We're back where it all started. After Scream 3, we was in Hollywood, California. Nev went away, and now she's back where it all started. Okay. Then you have an all-star studded cast, right, including the opening kill scene. I know, the opening kill scene wasn't great, but you had some good actors of the time in the opening kill scene. And then let's talk about Jill. Okay. Now, I understand what everyone's saying when it comes to Jill, how she is, she's a spoiled niece. Why? What? I don't like the story. Now, that wasn't, like I told you guys in the beginning, that wasn't the original story, and the original ending was a lot better than what we got in Scream 4. I mean, and the original ending. So in Scream 4, the original ending, like you guys know, Emma Roberts, she beats herself up and she goes to the hospital, and then at the end of the original ending, she doesn't die. She gets arrested, and she's arrested, and they take her to jail, and that was supposed to be the ending for Scream 4. That was the ending that I wanted, but the ending that we got was a bunch of fake deaths, fake outs. Now, another thing that was really cool about Scream 4 that doesn't get a lot of, that doesn't get talked about was the chase scenes. Like, the chase scenes were amazing in Scream 4. Like, I love, especially the chase scene between Sydney and Ghostface when they're in I believe they're in Olivia's house. And it's just amazing. I love Scream 4. I know it gets a lot of hate for a lot of reasons. I don't know why. I really don't understand the hate with Scream 4. I honestly cannot tell you where that comes from. I really don't. I ask myself all the time, why do people hate Scream 4? Like, you want good kills? It has it. Is it the best kills? No, but it's better than what we've had before in Scream 2, Scream 96, and Scream 3. You want a good Ghostface? You got a good Ghostface with Jill. You want what's his name? Macaulay Culkin's brother's in it. And he's really good. He's a good actor, right? So I think it was a good film. I really think it was a good film. And then you have another thing that was cool in it. The horror movie club. Is that not what we do, Shay and Brittany? Are we not basically a horror movie club? So
yeah.
That was really
I like
relatable. That was really relatable how they were basically, it was like New Age Randy, right? Again, how does Mindy get a pass on making it cool? but Charlie and his buddy couldn't do it. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. But for me, Scream 4 is my number 2 film, and that's a hot topic. But I can literally turn that film on at any moment. And honestly, one more thing. Every character in that fucking movie rocks, dude. If you look at Dewey, he's a fucking sheriff now. He is no longer Deputy Dewey. He is now Sheriff Dewey. You better put some respect on his name. Okay. Then you got Judy Hicks. You ever try her lemon squares? Because they taste like ass. Okay. They're pretty good. I haven't had one, but I've heard. Gail was the only one that thought they would taste like ass. Okay. So
I trust Gail. Gail.
We done established that Gail's a dirtbag. Okay. So I'm not trusting a damn thing. She's fuck Gail. All right. So
not on the lemon squares.
No, because she was probably cheating on Dewey while the lemon squares were being managed. But then you got Sidney Prescott, right? Now, I believe her character, again, if you look at the transition from Scream 3 to Scream 4, she's more confident in herself, right? She's way more confident and so much more badass. And then you look at Gail Weathers, right? Gail Weathers turned into the Dr. Loomis in Scream 4. She was the one putting everything together. If it wasn't for Gail putting things together, Jill would have got away for free, scotch-free. She would have got away with it. But no. So I feel like every character in Scream 4 was at their best in Scream 4. And after that, they took a slide down for the new characters. And so, but yeah, Scream 4 is a good movie. Just go check it out.
All right.
Okay.
You gotta come correct, Britt. I'm hot in these lives, man. This is our first live. I'm hot. I'll come quick. I'll come right in these lives, man.
Okay, my second top for the Scream franchise would have to be Scream 6. Listen.
Talk to me.
The brutality, the way Ghostface was not caring if you were just at the grocery store trying to just pick up a quick roll of tissue. Okay. He didn't care if you were just on the train trying to, catch your, 9 o'clock on your way to work. He didn't care. Yeah. It was brutal. The chase scenes in that one were amazing. Especially when we in the shrine room. Like that was when nice. I saw that in the trailer, nice. I paused. That was nice. I paused and I for a good 5 minutes was up this close to my screen against my nose, like, what do I see? Okay. And then when they gave us more footage, I was like, I just over and over again. I probably watched the trailer to Scream 6 just to see the, everything in the shrine at least 100 times. Okay. I'm respecting just to go through and then to go to see the movie and to actually get close-ups on all, everything they had. Like they had like Minnie said, the whole franchise. Okay. In one room. I would have probably passed out, had a heart attack, and then came back to. And they actually I probably would have cleared them out. Like every hour they would have noticed that something was missing. As I I'll be right back. You're I'm in and out. I'm taking stuff. Yeah.
Dirtbag. Then he turned into a dirtbag just to get some good.
Real quick. Hold on. That's some hot merchandise.
Underwear over here. Who took Billy's underwear? Wait a minute. Who took Billy's jockstrap? Somebody took Billy's jockstrap.
Hey, I'm just saying it was there when I passed by. After I passed by, they weren't there anymore. Same thing with Stu's robe. I would have definitely took that home.
Oh yeah, it's Hugh Hefner robe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would have took that home and laid in bed with it all night long.
Hold on a second.
I would have laid in bed, curled up with it, and just slept peacefully that night. But no, and then not only were the kills, but the impact of the kills. What was her name? Mindy's girlfriend, Anika. Oh my god,
Anika. Oh my god, dude.
Even though they kind of spoiled it a little bit in the trailer because we knew for a fact, even though they tried to trick us, that's facts. We knew it wasn't going to be Mindy going last across that ladder. Yeah, we knew it was going to be, and then for Ghostface to stab her, to pick her up and gut stab her and drag it up. I was like, you don't even know her. Like she has nothing to do with this. Why are we so brutal to Anika?
And then he shook the ladder. Oh my god.
Oh yes. And then immediate impact, boom.
Oh, on the trash can.
When she hit the trash can and like they show her face, I said, "Oh my god!" Like closed casket.
That was bad.
Like it's closed. And then the Mindy's poor little scream afterwards was breaking my heart. We got shirtless guy Pug from She-Hulk. I love him, and to know that he to know that he not only won, was not a killer. He was not a dirtbag.
He wasn't a dirtbag. He wasn't a dirtbag.
And he understood why Sam had the boundaries she had, and even gave her the advice to, hey, even if you have to push me away,
he was a nice guy.
If that's what's best for you to live, to survive, to feel comfortable, I'll step away. And then he lived. Like I can see this relationship flourish, even though maybe next movie he might die.
He's dead. He's killing him.
He's dead.
Sam is going to murder that man during sex.
No, let's not put it on Sam like that. And then we got Zaddy Billy back. You know,
I mean, Billy's back. I mean, he could have been. I feel like he could have been used more, but it's okay.
Yeah, we could have used him more because although I did like when they did bring him in, it was to Sam seeing like basically she took a step into a time machine and she went from like when she was conceived to now, and she just saw the horrors basically of which her life brought.
That was beautiful.
It was amazing to see them walk through and see everything. Chad and Tara, you know, their relationship, even though I'm still questioning, like, you gotta relive pretty fast. I mean, these relationships, even though they were in high school, so
dirtbags. She learned from Gail.
Chad is not a dirtbag. Chad was like
Chad stand up guy.
He first of all, Daybreak Frankie he deserved to taste the balls.
Now
I really wish Chad would have like two-pieced him real quick. Also getting tased in the balls.
True dirtbag. That man was a true in every essence of the word dirtbag. That man was
and I was really hoping that maybe Sam would have came while he was upstairs with Tara, and then she was just like went ghost face and stabbed him up.
Yeah.
And then they had to run out the
Yeah.
But even with the Gale chase scene, because I love a good Gale chase scene, that was good in Scream.
Like when a dirtbag gets chased.
I mean, yes, I was really like counting. I was like, this is it. She's gonna take it. She's gonna take the knife and she's gonna be gone. And I was like, her last words. And she's like, her last words are, tell Sydney he didn't give me. I said,
not I love Dewey. I'm sorry, dude.
Not I love Dewey or not that, you know.
Like I was with Gail until the whole dirtbag scene. Like as soon as I seen that guy in the back, I was like, "Yo, who's that? Hold on, man." I know
we knew she was a dirtbag from the beginning.
I'm like, I know there's a whole ghost face scene going over here, but who the fuck was that guy in the background? Because my man Dewey's rolling over in his grave right now. He's rolling over his grave right now. My man just doing
she has pictures of her and Dewey just willy-nilly all over the house. That has to be like a shot to his ego.
That means this man ain't nothing but a toy. This man might be a prostitute for all we know. He might be an escort.
Can you just imagine him drilling Gail?
Hold on. This is a family channel. Wait a minute.
He looks over, and there's just a happy picture of Gail and Dewey just sitting right there on the nightstand.
She's a dirtbag. He's a dirtbag because he looked over and seen Dewey's picture on the camera and said, "Yeah, I don't care."
I'm a smash.
Dewey, look, I'm off. Look, get me off Gail. Get me off Gail right now, Shay. I'm about to snap on.
Get off Gail.
All right, I'm sorry. Scream 6 was really good, and my favorite part were the different variations of the Ghostface mask, from the clean mask that we had from Richie and Amber to Billy's decrepit. You know, it just looked like it was gonna fall apart. Yeah. And I loved how we got each one getting older and older. And you can see it getting older and older each time they show the different masks. So people might not like it, but Scream 6 is my number 2.
I'm mad at it, but it's okay.
Don't put that.
I'm mad at it. It's all right.
Come on, Shay. What you got for number 2? What you got down there for number 2?
Say anything besides stab one.
Listen.
Stab one.
It better not be no stabs.
All right. For now, my number 2 is going to have to be Scream 3.
Dirtbag. I'm sorry, it just came out. I'm sorry. Dirtbag.
Well, okay, for me, when it comes to Scream 3, this was the first. Pretty much, this is the first one out of all the films. I mean, every single Scream film has either 2 or 3 Ghostface. This was the first one that actually had 1 Ghostface doing it all.
I commend that because he did do it all his own. So that has some, but I did hear that there was a version where it was a second Ghostface. It just wasn't him on his own. Oh, look at those bangs.
I agree with you that that's something else that doesn't get talked about a lot. And Brittany, you talked about it a while ago. The single Ghostface thing, that's hard to fucking do, right? Because the formula is 2 or more, right? Well, or 2. At this time, it was 2 killers. And for it just to be Roman, do you know how much has to go right for you not to get caught as a killer by yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so for someone else to hold your secret, that's easy, right? But for you to be the only one in Hollywood, and again, Shake, let me ask you. Did you see it? Did you think it was Roman at any point during the beginning?
No.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's hard to do, especially because let's break it down. Scream 96. There was multiple moments where Billy and Stu, you thought they were the killer, right? When they're sitting at the water fountain, leave her alone, right? We got that. So wait, Stu, it's you, bro. You said leave her alone. Okay. So Scream 2, right? It was we kind of knew it was Mickey because remember the scene where he was going back and forth with the guys and with the people in the film studies class, and so we kind of knew it was Mickey had something to do with it. We didn't.
Yeah, I knew it was Mickey after the whole sorority party because he was like to go back into the house. Why would you do such a thing? I was like, you weren't there, right? So how did you know he went back into the house?
Right. And then you mix that in with the little film studies class where he's like, well, how do you know, right? So we called it then. Scream 3 was the only one. And then let's skip Scream 3. Scream 4, right? We kind of knew it was Jill, right? The way Jill was acting when Liv got killed and the way she was acting in the car. Like, there was a lot of things, right? Scream 5, we knew it was Richie because of Dewey. And Scream 6, we kind of knew it was a vet. Roman was the only killer in the whole franchise where nobody could guess it was him. Nobody. I never once heard I've talked to a lot of people, and not one person told me that they called it was Roman. Nobody. Because if you did, you're lying. So good. I like that.
I never thought it was Roman. He seemed to fly under the radar only because he wasn't Woodsboro.
Right.
We didn't know and it was hard to pick a killer Woodsboro besides Sidney, Gale, and Dewey. It was just everything they were doing was based off of Woodsboro. In my mind, I was thinking, okay, this killer obsessed with the movie because one, they have to be in the movie.
Correct.
And their obsession is only them being in the movie is only to further that obsession to one, kill off the Sidney, Gale, Dewey, and then also kill some of the other actors. But within you doing that, you're making your own movie to like overlap this movie that you're trying to destroy. Yeah. So Roman threw me off. He threw me off with that one because I wasn't thinking it was him. I was really banking on the old guy, even though it has never been the old guy. I was banking on it being the old guy.
And something you just said was really smart. The fact that they brought it out of Woodsboro, that's a whole other ball field because it's like, okay, what's the motive? Okay, there was no motive for anybody to continue what they were doing, unless, like Brittany said, to further your career. But it's like, but who out of that group I didn't think it was anybody in the group. I honestly didn't. I couldn't.
I thought it was the girl playing Sydney.
But even
I really thought it was her.
There was a few times where I'm like, it can't be her. Like, I know they want me to think it's her, but I can't think that because I know it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know when a movie's trying to push you into a direction, right? And that's why I felt like with her character, right? But then when she got killed, I'm like, okay, I knew it wasn't her. So if it's not her, then who? Well, I don't know. Because, now, Brittany, you said something earlier about the pulse check, right? That pulse check actually like solidified it for me for Roman, honestly, because I'm like, well, I mean, it's not abnormal. I mean, everyone else is fucking dying. I mean, the only thing that felt abnormal with Roman was it was kind of off. It was off camera what happened to him, right? So if you go back and think about it, it's like, oh shit, it was off camera. But when you're in the heat of the moment, and even the I forget the black guy's name in Scream 3, but when he got thrown out, it just felt like everybody was getting quick deaths, right? So Roman's death didn't seem abnormal to me, right? So at the end, when he's like, ta-da, motherfucker, I'm like, damn, you still alive, bro? Like, bro.
It threw me off because we've never checked the pulse. We've never checked the pulse in the entire Scream franchise.
We haven't done a lot.
Never checked the pulse. We've never checked the pulse. And it's like if he's dead, he's dead. Like why are we standing around checking the pulse? Let's get up out of here.
Because it's like it's double tap, always double tap, always check a pulse. I mean, honestly, let me ask you guys, Shay. Okay, me and you, we're in a horror movie, right? We ain't got a gun. We don't have a gun. We don't have a knife, right? And the killer falls out of nowhere. He just falls down, has a heart attack. Are you gonna check his pulse?
No.
I'm out of here.
You're gonna shoot him.
Now I understand why I was checking.
I'm about welcome to like, oh man. Well, hey Helvetin, let me check his pulse. You like, yeah, let me check. Well, here, I'll check his pulse with my foot in his throat.
Okay, now see. Okay, then that's acceptable. You see what I'm saying?
What she should have did was smack him in the face to see if he had any reaction, and then obviously he would have jumped or something.
I got one. They should have tickled his feet. They should have tickled his feet.
Yes, that would have been hilarious.
Or like tickle his nose with a feather.
Or have y'all seen the what's the glass onion, the Knives Out glass onion?
No, I've seen the trailer though.
Okay, no, well then never mind. I can't even say what I wanted to say.
No, go ahead. I love when people spoil movies. Go ahead.
Okay, so there's like this one part where there's hot sauce.
Okay.
In a nostril.
Oh God.
But the person is pretending to be dead. So the hot sauce you can see the hot sauce like on the lip, and it's like traveling, and it's traveling, and it's traveling, and it's like as soon as it hits inside the nostril, everyone who's supposed to be gone is gone now. So the person who's supposed to be dead is in the nostril. But you can see as it's dripping into the nostril, their nose is flaring. Like the nose is flicking. And then they jump up because it's in there, and it's like it's funny. You should definitely watch that movie. It's
we
hilarious.
know what we're gonna do, and the next time we're all together, and there's a killer. We're either gonna tickle his feet or put some hot sauce on his fucking nose. Don't check his pulse. If I watch a horror movie and that shit happens, I'm fucking dying, bro.
Yes, like hot sauce will immediately wake him up, like just like that. It was like
or give him the so basically like us powerlifters, bodybuilders, when we get ready for do like a heavy lift, right? We use this kind of stuff to when you go to the nose.
Ammonia.
Ammonia type stuff. Let's go. Look here, right? Like he's like
that's what it is. That's immediately what happened. Like they flinched, they jumped up, and it was just like they were trying to blow it out. I was like, I know your nose is like on fire.
Well, hey,
like,
you never know though. If you get a guy that's like super trained, like to be able to take stuff like that and not move or anything like that, because we got military people that see with their eyes open.
Yeah.
Which is
what I mean? But you got somebody that's like really trained, like to handle pressure and handle stuff done to him. Man, he'd be like,
nah, not me. I'm a dirty.
And I couldn't deal with that type of person. Stay away from me.
You know what they can do? Turn on the Goofy Goober song from SpongeBob. Okay, that's what they need to do. Turn on the Goofy Goober song, and if he starts singing, he's alive. He's fucking.
No, what's the song from Ted 2? Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, turn that
You gotta
Oh my
if you
God.
sing, you gotta sing along to those.
You got to. All right, number one. What we doing? What
Hang on. Before we get to number one, you guys weren't here for it, so I'm gonna go show you guys. I did a little something for the beginning of the video for you guys. So here you go, guys. Before we get to number one.
I'm not seeing nothing.
Hello and welcome to the Horror Outcast podcast. Hope you all enjoy, and tell me what is your favorite scary movie.
I'm stealing
That's
that.
good.
I'm stealing that.
That's good. I like
I'm stealing
that.
that. As soon as I do like an upload of this on my page, that's gonna be the first thing they fucking see. That's dope.
That was good.
That's fucking dope.
All right, so pretty much number one is going to have to be for all of us.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be Stab 17.
All right, now I'm done. I gotta go. Give me, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch me in the Hell Zone 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. No, but seriously,
my number one has to be Stab 2000.
What the fuck?
I like
what are we
Stab-
doing here, guys?
Stab 2000 is amazing.
This is
Like,
supposed to be
you've
a
never seen that
professional
movie.
YouTube channel. What are we doing here?
Ghostface is in space at this point. Sydney's an astronaut, and they're on their way to Mars.
What is this Leprechaun go to the moon? What are we doing here? Jason next. What are we doing?
No, we got stabbed 6 years later, and Sydney's has got a walker.
Oh, now you're dirtbag. Now I gotta get on Michael. Okay, you know what? We're sending Michael next movie. Michael's going to space just for that comment. How about that? You like your favorite character going to space?
I don't want Michael.
I'll watch it.
I bet you will, Jason.
I mean, I would watch anything once. You know, I give it the old college try.
Listen. I watched Jason X because it came out in like 2000, so I expect that film. Okay, if they bring Michael Myers into space in the year 2027, I'm dead. I'm done. I'm quitting horror and I'm moving to comedies. Okay, I'm done.
I can see it now. It's Allison. Allison's married to astronaut.
Corey turned into a fucking astronaut.
The day before Halloween is when they set out, and Michael comes back and he hitches. You know, he hitchhikes on the space shuttle, and you know it's
He's going to have Michael just stab the space shuttle with his knife.
Hey, check this out, right? This would be a great future movie for Michael Myers, right?
Oh,
okay, someone took his sample. Basically took some of his like DNA and stuff from the shredder, right?
Okay.
And then they basically later on, you know, they had a sample, hold right in some kind of place, right? Well, going in the future, we're going to space, right? They actually had that sample, and they actually got technology to basically make a new Michael Myers. So basically, he gets regenerated, and he's back, and he's like in space.
Okay, that idea, but they weren't supposed to do Michael's DNA. They were supposed to do someone else's DNA.
Whose DNA? Trash can.
Somebody's DNA who's supposed to be,
trying to bring back a raccoon. What are we doing here?
It's like almost like RoboCop. How they took. Yeah, it was. Well, no, in RoboCop they meant to do that to them.
What are we doing?
But that's what they should do to Michael. They should make him Robo Michael and send him in space.
Daniel Harris, if you're watching this, they want to send you to outer space with your old mic. That's what they want to do for you, old Jamie. Because we know Jamie's gonna be the next one. So unfortunately, Daniel Harris, you will be in another Halloween killer franchise. Not in a good way. Now, I mean,
it's better than how they ended with Halloween 6 with Michael fathering her child.
That was only
you just didn't say that.
That was
first off, now I'm on you, Brittany. Halloween 6 is a fucking masterpiece.
It is.
Oh no, I like it.
It is. No,
but not that part.
No, you don't.
Hey, the whole thing with the father, whatever, Michael being the father, that was only in the producer's cut.
Michael's a
dirtbag. Still losing my mind.
No. Listen. Everyone knows Michael's a dirtbag. Okay, so don't be mad when he's really a dirtbag. Okay, you gotta accept him at all dirtbag levels. Okay, He's a dirtbag for killing people, but also he's a dirtbag for impregnating his niece. But hey, once a dirtbag, always a dirtbag. Okay, listen, listen. Okay, you can't be cool with him doing one dirtbag thing and get mad at him for doing another dirtbag thing. Okay, you can't do that. He's a dirtbag. Michael Myers is a dirtbag. He's a fucking listen. Halloween 6 is a great film. Yeah, don't put some respect on Paul Rudd's name. All right, it's old Paul Rudd there. But number one, Shape, what is it, man? Come on.
Number one for all three of us looks like is going to be the original Scream.
96. Yes.
I mean, it has to be. There's no comparison. Like it's just a really from beginning. First of all, let's not even talk about the first 15 minutes of the movie, because that could be its own movie alone. It could have been its own little movie. Drew Barrymore. That was like that was the best opening out of all the Scream movies put together.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna pull up my favorite scene from well, not my favorite scene, but
Drew Barrymore's coming back. She's coming back for Scream 7.
Now hold on.
I mean, she came back for Scream 5, but it was just her voice.
Hold on.
Now we can do that.
Hold on.
No, she can be the killer.
No. Let's say she had an evil twin who's mad that Sam's dad took her out. So now that the sister who looks exactly like her comes back to take them out. Now we can do that.
The long lost sister?
The long lost sister. We can do that. Well, I mean, maybe she did have a sister. We just never found out. She died, too soon for us to.
Yeah, but if she was a twin, they'd be in the same school.
Yeah, but after the death of her sister, wouldn't that cause you to drop out of school when you want to stay home for a while?
Drew Barrymore's dead. All right, Drew Barrymore's. Everybody, look! Don't try to come take Nev Campbell's money. All right, that's all I gotta say to anybody that's.
No, I know the scene. I know scene.
Oh, like Sidney Prescott says. Go ahead, take it away, Sidney Prescott.
Oh yeah.
There it is. I don't know who that man was recording off his phone. That man, Jesus Christ! But you heard her. Let's see if I find a better copy. That was terrible. He said, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, but you don't.
Yeah,
the original is hands down the best. Like you got great chase scenes. Although you can't tell, although you can kind of tell, they give it away a little bit with Billy. But when you see Billy get arrested and then the killer still calls Sydney, you're like, well, now it can't be Billy because you can't make those type of phone calls in jail. Yeah. So then your mind's racing with who the next, possible killer could be. Yeah. So, and then everyone was also, as Randy said, everyone's a suspect. Everyone's been pointed out to being a suspect because they made everyone look suspicious.
And it's
also weird.
Go ahead.
It's just kind of weird, because when it comes to these franchises, Halloween is like the only one that has like the multiple timelines. But not only that, they actually have like people called like Halloween purists, which is it's only the original 78, and that's it. That's the only film that it pretty much exists to them. That 78, everything else is kind of like whatever. But 78 is its own film, it's by itself. This is it. This is where it started, this is where it ended at. For when it comes to Scream, Friday the 13th, no shit, you don't got that.
Yeah.
Nope.
There's certain films that people love, but then there's another film that has hints of the original film, so they'll go watch that film, And you're right, not a lot of films have that. And something else that makes the original so cool is we get a cameo from Wes, right? That cameo with Wes Craven in the Freddy Krueger outfit, that's always legendary. It's the little things with Scream. The Fonz, we get the Fonz in it. He's the principal, right? So I mean, that film was the 90s. Like that was a generational film that, again, there was so many copycats. Urban Legend, The Faculty. There was so many spinoffs that came from this one film, right? I Know What You Did Last Summer. All these films, and it was because of this one film. Just like Michael, right? What Michael did for his time period, right? When it came to that type of slasher, you had Black Christmas, you had Silent Night. All these films came out because of Halloween, right? And then when you have these icons like a Michael Myers or a Leatherface, who in his own right, he has a subgenre of himself that a lot of copycats try to be, right? Uh, Same thing with Jason for Friday the 13th. A lot of copycats. You know, you have a once in a generational film when the copycats start coming. And that's what happened with Scream 1996. They didn't know it at the time. I remember watching, I recently watched behind the scenes of the original film, and nobody knew at the time that film, like people knew Halloween 78, right? They had a feeling that film was going to be good because it was the first of its kind. So they didn't, John Carpenter and Deborah, they didn't think it was going to do good box office numbers, but they knew longevity, it was going to be good.
Yeah.
Scream 96, they had no idea that this film was going to be the way it was going to last damn near 30, 40 years. And yet here we are, 40 years later, still building off the same, like Shake said, the same story. It hasn't differentiated. It is still, regardless of what happened in Scream 6, if Sidney Prescott was mentioned, that means Sidney Prescott is still here. So for them to do that, and look at the actors, Rose McGowan, Matthew Lillard, Courtney Cox, Neve Campbell, literally the list is, it can go on and on. And then this is a film that if you're a celebrity, you want to be in that movie. You don't hear that with a lot of other films, right? Every celebrity wants to be in Scream, even if it's for opening film, if it's to be a main cast member. And like Brittany said, Drew Barrymore, the legendary Drew Barrymore, was set to play Sidney Prescott. And that's big. That was huge for the 90s. For Drew Barrymore coming from her Christian background and coming from E.T. and all that she had did, for her to even be in the film, legendary. And then I'll end it with this. We have the greatest Scream Queen of all time because of this movie. Neve Campbell started her career not with this film, but around that time period, she was blossoming, and her defining role, no matter what she does for the rest of her life, her defining role will always be Sidney fucking Prescott.
And she didn't even want the role. She didn't want to be the lead, but
You want to be a side character?
sis, like she kills this role. Like I don't think you can try to put someone else in Sydney's place.
Nah.
But Neve Campbell kills it as Sydney. Like she in each movie, no matter how little she's in it, no matter how much she's in it, when she's on the screen, you pay attention.
She's in it. She is.
You tune in.
And she's there for the fans, like Shape said. She is there for the fans. Like she's not in this for the money. She's not. I remember when Scream 4 came out, she was in the middle. She had just got done doing a movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Skyscraper, a multi-million-dollar movie. She doesn't need the money. She comes back because the fans want her back.
Yeah.
I sat in a line to meet Neve Campbell. Let me tell you something. I told Shape this story 1,000 times. There are so many smelly people at a horror convention. So many smelly people. And Neve Campbell was standing there with these smelly people. I'm talking about a multi-million-dollar horror queen. Is Jamie Lee Curtis doing that? Nope. So again, our favorite final girl of all time came from this movie. And that's why I think I speak for all of us when we say she built this shit. And I think me, Brittany, and Shape agree that if her story is finished, then let it be finished. But if it's not finished, she deserves the right send-off. Just like I'll say the same thing with Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis deserved way better than what she did in Halloween Ends. She deserved a way better send-off.
She deserved to die.
I mean, if that's her send off, then fuck.
I mean,
fuck
it would have been a good send off, to
great.
not only to kill her off because she doesn't want to come back to do another movie.
Yeah.
Now it's just like without her dying, it's just like this open ended, because like What? Okay, so what? Now she's just an author. She's gonna write about
Right.
Michael, just like Loomis was now. No, I would have preferred to see them both take each other out. And Allison, maybe Michael still living after Michael killed Lori, and then Allison coming up how she did at the end of Ends,
Yeah.
and giving him that final slit to the throat or stab.
Yeah.
That would have worked out perfectly. But Nev she loves to do what she does.
Yeah.
And this is not even though this is not the career that she chose, because she didn't choose to be
Not at all.
the lead. She wanted to,
She's more of a dramatic actor. She loves theater.
Mhm.
Right? She likes the drama. She loves the drama. And I love all her dramas. But like you said, she didn't want to be a horror queen. She didn't.
But she is, and she's a horror queen that I would fight over her. Like,
oh yeah.
If I saw someone trying to like carjack Nev Campbell, I would jump out and like jump in front of the car. Like, no, like, what are you doing? I would literally throw hands.
All right, Britt. I don't know if I told you a story. Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you the story real quick. All right. I told Shape the story. Okay. So when I'm meeting Nev Campbell, she's like 5 foot. What is she like? 5'3", 5'5"? No, she's pretty tall. She's like 5'5".
Oh yeah, the story.
Like 5'6", something. Okay, so I go up to meet her, right? And I'm just such a I'm a in the moment kind of guy. So I'm there with my wife Jasmine, and so we all line up to take a picture. So Jasmine's on the right, Nev's in the middle, I'm on the left, right? So I remember holding on to Nev's side, right? I'm holding on to her, and I'm squeezing her, like I'm squeezing her hard. I know she felt uncomfortable. And like she has abs on top of her abs, dude. She is fucking fit. Like I was touching her abs, bro. It was crazy. So then, like I said, I'm like 6'1", right? So I'm standing over Nev Campbell, and I'm like right next to her head. Like I'm like I can smell her hair, right? So
this is not creepy at all.
I said, no, don't worry about it, but don't worry. I have a whole wife in here. She's beautiful. I love her to death. I mean, it's Nev Campbell. You get one opportunity. So I take a big whiff. I go, and like it wasn't loud to where she could hear it, but like if she probably felt it. Not gonna lie, she felt her hair stand up a little bit. But her hair, it smelled like Head and Shoulders. It smells like she uses Head and Shoulders. But she has really soft hair. By the way, I actually got to touch her. But I did smell Nev Campbell's hair. I would have
done that. I would have took a string. To be honest with you, I would just pluck the.
I didn't want to let go.
Right off her head.
And like I didn't even know I had a wife the whole time. She was standing 2 feet away from me. I had no idea Jasmine was there. In my mind, she was not there. It was just me and Nev Campbell.
And then it's like after the picture's done, and you're like, okay, you shake hands, you say goodbye, and then you're walking off. You're like, wait, oh shit, hey Jeff.
Oh yeah, like oh, Jeff fun. Like, but no, yeah, I'll never forget that moment. I smelled her hair, and yeah, I'll do it again.
This is what you should have done. You should have, did your picture right and like this, like, and then go in her ear, be like, what's your favorite scary film?
All right, now they're gonna call me a dirtbag. Security's gonna come up. Be like, you got a dirtbag. Get this dirtbag.
She's probably like, okay, no creepy.
But no,
you want me my stab movie?
I'll stab. No, seriously, she's great. And again, most people wouldn't have let me do that. Jamie Lee Curtis probably been like, "Why are you smelling my hair?" And I've been like,
"Well, you want to get close to Jamie Curtis?" You'd be like,
"Yeah, I wouldn't even get close to her." Who are you? But like, you know what, Jamie Lee Curtis, your hair doesn't even look like it smells good. So how about that? So,
I mean,
Nev Campbell's hair.
You have to get like right up on her to smell her hair.
I hope I never get famous, because if I do and Nev sees this, I'm done. I'm literally done.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there'll be like a crazy, funny story that to talk about.
Well, yeah,
I would have done the same thing.
If Helmets ever get famous, and then he's actually in a role with Nev Campbell, I'll be like post on there, be like, "Hey, everybody, this is your Hellmaster right here."
You're gonna ruin the one chance I get with Nev Campbell on set.
You're like, "Oh, it's you, the one with just my hair."
Yeah. I don't know what this look. There's a rumor.
I would do that for Nev Campbell. Like I would have I would probably not let go. I would probably brought up movies that weren't even horror movies, like Girl, Wild Things. Like,
you gotta go. You gotta start going to cons, Brittany, because you will.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, I do too.
Both you guys. The fucking Halloween celebrities will love Shape. They would fucking love you, bro. And then Britt, all the celebrities will love you because you just can you have the questions, you have the gift of gab, like you need to go
Yeah,
to a
and I love like them in like all their movies, like not just their horror movies. So
and they probably
if
like
they've been in other movies, I would have like, oh, even though you're here at a horror convention, like I really liked you in this and that, even if it's not a horror movie.
Okay, I got something to tell you guys. So I had a really bad moment when I met a celebrity, and I will never forget it. I feel bad about it. So it was I haven't. You were literally the only guys. Whoever's watching this live, you are the only ones that know besides my wife. So we go meet Heather Langenkamp, right? I'm super high as I always am, and I'm looking at Heather Langenkamp. I'm like, yo, is she fucking tatted? Because she has like tattoos like all over her fucking arm, right? So I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know Heather Langenkamp was tatted, bro. That's what's up, right? So I go up to meet her, right? I'm like, hey, I like your tattoos, right? And then she says, thanks, right? And I start looking closer. It's a fucking tattoo sleeve, like you buy from the store.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I just fucking embarrassed myself in front of her. Like Heather Langenkamp probably thinks I'm the stupidest motherfucker. Like I have actual tattoos showing, and I actually fell for her fake tattoos. It's cool, but yeah, I'll never forget that moment. I felt like such a dumbass. I still feel like a dumbass. Like literally.
Those sleeves though, those fake sleeves though, do look something like, especially far away. They look like they are. Like now, once you get up close,
right,
you can see like the lines of. Then you get it, but far away, like if you're standing in line and you like look up and you see her signing, if you just see like the glimpse of her arm, you're like, oh snap, she tatted up there.
And I was making a mental note. I'm gonna compliment her tattoos. First thing I said, right off the gate, like your tattoos. Didn't even think about it. I was just like,
and then she was like, "Oh, it's a sleeve."
No, but she was so nice. She didn't even make me feel stupid. She didn't even do that. She just let me feel stupid my own way. She probably was just like this.
She probably in her head like he'll get it when he get home. He'll get
seriously
it.
Like no, it was literally. I walked out and I'm walking there. I'm like, fuck. And Jasmine's like, yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but you're a dumbass. I'm like, you.
Jasmine probably feel like.
Because I'm like, no, because the thing is, Jasmine, she knew the whole time. She knew the whole time that they weren't, like, I said something in line. I'm in line talking about her tattoo. So Jasmine in her head's like, I know it's not, but I'm going to see if he does it anyways. She let me do it. And then I'm like, why'd you let me do that? She was like, you know what? You're a grown man. You should know better. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, how many movies have you seen her in? I said, a lot. Has she ever had any tattoos in any of those movies? I said, well, no. And she was like, do those tattoos even look real? I said, well, you know what, Jasmine?
From far away, they did.
It did. And I will never forget that. I got to meet her again now. It has to happen. I mean, I'll be like, look.
And but hey, I know now that those tattoos you had were fake. I just want to let you know I'm not a dumbass.
I went and bought me a sleeve too. See, we twins now. No, but now no one knows that. Yeah, I don't tell you about that story. I have a couple funny stories that about some of these celebrities that are fucking hilarious. It's crazy.
I don't think I've ever met like face to face a celebrity. If I ever do, depending on the celebrity, I'll probably freeze up and wouldn't even know what to say. I'll probably forget my name.
It's the weirdest thing.
And then I'll be known as the girl who just stood there drooling from the mouth, and them just saying, "Okay, nice to meet you," and walking away. Nice to meet you. And then me sitting there for 5 minutes, and then like snapping too, like, wait, like come back. I have so much.
Wait, I want to talk to you. No, your 5 minutes of fame is over. So yeah. I remember meeting Dave Sheridan. He's Officer Doofy from Scary Movie, right? So I go to meet him. I'm high as hell on shrooms, and I go to meet the guy. And so I go to meet him, and I'm having him sign my things, right? And then he asked me, he's like, hey, do you want me to sign your Hatchet movie? I'm like, no. He's like, well, why not? I was the hero in the movie. And I thought he was bullshit. I'm like, no, you weren't. But then again, I haven't seen Hatchet in years, right? I just knew fucking this fucking Jason was gonna be there, so I was like, I might as well give him the fucking sign. So he's like, no. So me and Dave Sheridan are freaking fighting at a convention. We're like screaming at each other. Like he's like, dude, I was in the movie and you don't want me to sign it? I'll sign it for free. I'm like, dude, I don't want you to sign my movie. Like, you weren't in the movie. Like,
Oh my God.
yeah, it was bad, guy. It was really bad. It was really bad. Like, in the middle of a convention. And so I'm like, bro, you weren't in the movie. Like, I don't want you to sign it. I want this guy to sign it, not you. He was like, dude, why don't? And so he was like, look. So he pulls his phone out and he shows me the scene. I'm like, oh, fuck. I look like a complete dumbass right now. And so I'm like, you want to sign it, bro?
Oh my God. It's like arguing with Tony Todd. He's like, hey, you know, I was in Final Destination. And you're like, no, you weren't.
Like, bro, no, you weren't. It was the funniest
Tony
thing.
Todd's like, no, I really was in Final Destination. Like, you wanted to sign it for.
But I'm like, bro, and so I'm sitting there, and then so Jasmine gets mad. She's like, well, it's not like he had a big role or he's a big name. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, but the guy was in the movie. I'd be mad if I was in the movie and somebody said I wasn't in the movie. Like, motherfucker, I worked on that set for 6 months. I missed my kid's birthday for this movie, dog.
Look, I don't care if I was there for 3 hours and I was just a filler in.
Right.
I was in that movie. I don't care if I was in the background.
I was in it.
Like 2 minutes. I would like play that scene of me in the background for 2 minutes to anyone that came to my house. I was in a movie you want to see, and like how long you're in the movie? Just as 2 minutes, but we're gonna watch just the 2 minutes of it.
Oh, I swear to God, I kid you not. There was like 7 years ago, I was on a TV show. I swear to God. So I was working at like a bowling alley, and this it was like Bravo TV or something. It was this TV show about this pastor and his family, and so they come to do a shoot at the bowling alley. So I had to sign this NDA, right? This non-disclosure agreement, whatever. And then so what they had me do was bring nachos out, right? So I brought out the nachos and I said, here you go. I sat the nachos on the table. But then as I'm like walking away, I'm like, I'm dead ass trying to find the camera, dude. I'm looking because like the cameras aren't just sitting where you would think they're sitting. They're like sitting somewhere trying to get the best angle. So like I deliver the nachos and I'm like looking around for the camera. I'm like, and I walk off. So then I go back, right? And then I go watch the episode, right? They fucking didn't even bring me getting the nachos. Like they cut that whole part out. Like they literally had me at the counter greeting them, and then that was it. That was literally it. So yeah, Hollywood's not what it's supposed to like. It's not.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I gotta watch the show now. Just trying to see you.
No, it's like a thought. It's like a quick. And another thing was like, okay, so they were on a date, right? This guy and girl was on a date. And so at a bowling alley, what do? You bowl, and then at the end, you go to the little claw machine to win your date or prize, right? Well, they didn't want to do that. They were like, do you have any toys back there? So we had to stock the toy machine ourselves, right? So he was like, yeah. He was like, can we buy a toy from you? And we were like, you want to buy a toy? And they was like, yeah, we're going to buy the toy and put it in the bottom, and they're going to act like they want it. I was like, okay. So they bought the toy. I put it in the bottom. And then they go and they're like, yay, you did it. I'm like, motherfucker, no, you didn't. I bought that.
That's reality TV for you.
That's
reality TV for you. Like that's how they get you.
They think that these people are cool when they actually suck.
They really not. Yeah.
But no, yeah, Hollywood. But yeah, that was, love Hollywood. But man, fuck, what is this? This is the first podcast. We went for damn near 3 hours. Jesus Christ.
Because we're awesome.
Yeah, that's obviously. Right?
Yes.
Okay, completely off topic. I want to give a shout out to my nieces who both graduated kindergarten today.
Yes.
Congratulations. Hell yeah.
They graduated today.
Hell pups and hell cats.
So proud.
Hell kitties. Hell kitties. Congratulations. And your daughter's birthday was 2 days ago.
Friday. She was Friday.
Oh,
yep. She just turned 3 years old. She had so much fun. She didn't want to leave, but we had to leave.
Birthday. That's awesome. I'm so glad. I paid my car insurance today, guys.
Hey, car insurance.
Hey, let's go.
Just in case you get into an accident, you're covered.
Biggest scam in America. Yeah,
it is.
Biggest scam. But seriously,
I actually argued with my brother on car insurance because he was like, before you get a car, you have to have your driver's license and car insurance. I was like, first of all, how you gonna get car insurance and you ain't got no car?
You ain't got no car.
You gotta have something there and get it insured on. And he really argued with me about it.
That's like having life insurance on a baby that's not even born yet. Like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? What's the point? What we doing? We preparing for something that we ain't got. You know.
Yeah.
Payment plan.
So what's the next podcast about? What's the next one? I didn't know.
I'm thinking about that one right now.
I'm still gonna wing it. I'm not gonna come prepared.
I'm gonna say, yeah, I kind of winged this one.
I'm gonna come.
I just like really just.
I'm gonna come 5.
Hey, we all three of us winged it. We all three of us did.
But no, I'm down with anything Halloween. We can rank. Well, you didn't rank the Halloween franchise. You've only done podcasts about them. So I'm down to rank them. You already know what's gonna be my number one, baby. H6. Let's go. Come on.
H2O? I knew it.
H2O. I heard H2O too.
No, okay. H2O sounds like also. And why would you name your movie after water? Let's talk about that.
Supposed to be Halloween 20 years later.
No, it's Halloween water.
Halloween, H for Halloween, and then 20 for 20 years.
Oxygen. You just gave me the compound element.
Or you can think about it like this.
But it doesn't
we're all made of water. We're all made of 92% water.
If you go look on Google, right, it's called Halloween H2O 20 years later. So that means it's called Halloween 20 years later, 20 years later. Makes no fucking sense. Makes complete no sense.
Or maybe they named it Halloween H2O because Michael's extra thirsty for killing Lori. So they called it.
How are you going to call it Halloween? Halloween 20 years later. Halloween 20 years later. What the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. Shay.
This could have actually been Halloween: The Return of Michael.
They just could have said H2O. They should have just called it H2O. If they would call it H2O, then it makes sense. You can't call it Halloween 20 years later, colon H2O. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't that. It's either one, because you know what happened there, Shape? They realized that the movie was named after a fucking water molecule, and they couldn't do that. They were like, well, if we call it H2O, they're going to think it's a movie about Michael Myers being in the water. They had to put Halloween 20 years later on it. What is it? Jason? Friday 13th, Camp Crystal Lake? That's what they should have did with H2O. Bring that motherfucker out the water.
Oh my god,
that's funny.
Seriously, okay. So the Horror Outcast podcast was amazing. Have fun.
What?
It's the Horror Outcast podcast, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Horror Outcast podcast. That's a
podcast.
Horror Outcast podcast. Again, Shape. That's another. You're saying cast 2 times. Horror Outcast podcast. There's a lot of cast there.
It rhymes.
Oh, like
it
Halloween.
rhymed.
So kind of like Halloween 20 years later, colon H2O. Now I see where you get your name from. Oh my god. End it, Shape. I gotta go to bed. I'm fucking tired, brother.
No, we're keeping you up all night. This is an all-nighter.
Well, yeah, you do gotta stay for like next 3 minutes because you missed the intro. You didn't see my intro.
Yeah, I have to go watch the intro to make clips from tonight's podcast. So I'm gonna see it again. I'm about to go watch it for like 30 minutes when I'm editing a video. Come on, man.
I'm gonna still see it.
I'm gonna see it regardless.
This is the first episode of the Horror Outcast podcast. So I hope you all enjoy, and of course,
a lot of fun.
Me too. You guys got any plugs you want to do?
Yeah. I got a lot of stuff coming out. Don't know what. I have YouTube coming on the page. That's cool. At some point, whenever I get y'all's videos done. So if you want to see more Shape in the Shadows and basically Brittany, come over to the Hell Zone. They're there more than I am. I'm serious. I'm so serious about that. I just checked, like, literally, Brittany has been on my page more than I have in the past. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Really?
I'm laughing right now, brother. Yeah. Like, I'll do my little shit, but I'm like, but the thing is, like, the people don't like me apparently, because like every video I do, they're like, "Oh, this guy Helvington, this guy." But then Brittany comes on, it's like, numbers go through the roof. I'm like, well, maybe.
I mean, I don't want to say it's the money maker or anything, but you know.
No, seriously, you guys. Every time you guys go on page, the numbers go through the roof. So I mean, I guess I'm just gonna retire and give it to you guys. I don't know. I've thought about it, guys. Listen, your Hellmaster can't do this forever. You can't listen.
No, but it's no Hell Zone without Helvington.
Oh well, I guess I'll stay here. I'll be here.
You better.
I'll be here.
But yeah, I'm not really doing much. But I'm co-hosting on both of you guys.
She has a whole 30.
uh,
Don't do that. She has like 30 different videos coming out in the next 6 months. Don't even do that. Don't do that.
Well, we do have a lot of segments because I was like killing it with my like crazy segments that I was writing out.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm having fun doing it. So as long as you guys want me to keep coming back to do either lives or videos or whatever, I'm here.
Always.
Always.
And I got a couple things planned in the next couple months, but also too, it's already May, and we're gonna be getting close to our what we want to call it, getting close to our busy time in the next couple months.
Halloween time is coming.
Halloween. We got a lot of stuff that's gonna be coming out. A lot of good movies.
Way to Halloween.
That's right.
I can't wait.
Spirit opens up in a couple months.
You just have to go Halloween costume shopping.
Oh, dude, Shape is all over that. Shape is like Mr. Spirit of Halloween. Like he is all over the look. I love watching Shape in the Shadows, Shape in the what is it called? Shape's Reviews and Collectibles. I love watching his toy hunts, dude, because they're so much fun. And plus, his wife, Mrs. Shape, she always comes through clutch with some breaking news information, like she did last year. So I can't wait to see what you guys have in store for us spirit hunters, because I am a spirit hunter myself. I just don't go hunt. Why go hunt as spirit when you have a shape, right? When you got a shape that can go hunt for you, right? You send Shape out into the wild, you see something, you like it, you tell Shape, and then boom, you get it. Or you go buy it yourself. But Shape does the grunt work for you. He goes out there, hits the road, spends his gas money, so you don't have to. Gotta love Shape.
Yeah, when Spirit opens up, I live there. I live in Spirit when it opens up. I'm sleeping bag in there, be like
Shape.
Like the girl from what's the movie? Where the Heart Is, the girl who lives in Walmart.
Yeah.
That's you. That's you, but it's Spirit Halloween, and you just tucked up.
The janitor.
And then when you close down, I gotta leave.
Hey, sir, I gotta clean the floor, and you're just laying. I need you to get up, man. But man, I'm trying to shop. Look, I'm just trying to do my job. I'm a janitor.
Or he dresses up as one of the mannequins, like he just puts the costume on and stands there until everyone leaves.
You know you're a human. There are not that many swole mannequins out here. Come on, what is it?
And then we just see a sad Michael Myers walk out, head down. And he's like,
when did Michael get so jacked? Did anybody know they were going on a buff Michael?
Hey, but I think I'm actually going to do that this year. I think I'm actually going to dress up as Michael Good in a Spirit Halloween.
You should. You really should.
That'll be good.
Really cool.
But the thing is, I got to get time to do because the thing is, like me and Miss Shape work opposite hours because she works during the week. I work on weekends. So like when I go, I'm usually by myself or I have baby Shape.
Random person film you. Say, hey man, look, film me. Come on.
Here you go, baby Shape. Here, film Daddy when I go to the store. She's like this.
Stand on these boxes, baby Shape, and record me do that.
And the whole time you thinking she recording you, you get it, and it's just footage of her, just this much of her face.
Yeah. Come on, people, everything else.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what Shape has for us coming up. I'm excited for episode 2 of the Horror Outcast podcast. I cannot wait for the more segments that Brittany has in the Hell Zone. There's just this little group we got here, man. Something special. Some say once in a generation kind of talent we got here on screen, guys. I didn't say it. That's what some people were saying about us. I didn't say it. Okay, I've heard
they should keep saying it.
They
should keep saying it.
Yeah, whoever's saying it should keep saying it because I've heard it through the great. Can't reveal my sources, but I will tell you that's what they're saying.
They love us. They can't deny it.
Oh yeah. But I've had fun. Can't wait for episode 2.
Yes.
Get me out of here. Get me backstage so I can get the fuck out of here.
All right.
Gotta get back to the Hell Zone.
Y'all have a good night. Hope you all enjoy. And even though I'm now Shape's real quick.
Say it.
I still say it at the end of every video now.
Say it.
Always remember, Shape is always in the shadows.
There it is. Hey.
There, everybody.
Hey.